Tonight on the podcast, we're talking about a King Kong live action TV show. What's this world coming to? First look at Ironheart through Black Panther merch. Jeffrey Dean Morgan joins another franchise. WandaVision director, gonna do some Fantastic Four. Horizon Zero Dawn, getting a TV adaptation. We got a jam-packed show for you tonight on the Absolute Geek Podcast. It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're locked into the best damn podcast in all the land, the Absolute Geek Podcast.
All the land.
My name is Matt.
I'm Lance.
And we've got a good one for you today, folks. It's going to be a banger of a show. We're waiting on Ish to get here.
It's fantastical.
What's going on to your mom and Stumbling Jedi, who are already strongly representing in the chat? Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Stumbling says in all the land, reiterating all the land.
Absolutely.
Eric
What's
Williams,
up, Eric?
welcome. Everyone's filing in. The Absolute Geek signals are going out. The whole world is stopping, knowing that we're going live on YouTube. It's 7:30 in Phoenix.
Eric's bringing the heat with the jalapeno.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm tired, dude. Super tired.
I've worked a lot this week.
First week alone with the baby. Erin was doing her thing, doing her secondary job. So she was gone all week. And so I had the baby all night. And that's rough.
Yeah.
Rough. He's ready for the spicy, he said.
It's a spicy.
It's a spice.
It's a spicy jalapeno.
What about you? What's going on with you?
Nothing, man. Just working a lot, dude. Fucking. Oh, this week felt like it would never end. A lot going on at my job. A lot of changes. A lot of new announcements and stuff. They're getting ready to go back to what it was like kind of pre-COVID, our lives a little bit. So a lot of changes coming up. So just prepping for that.
No more work at home for Lance, huh?
They want us to work in the office 10 days a month. That's it.
Oh,
yeah. It's not that bad. But, kind of disrupts life a little bit. You got to start figuring out, who's going to be here when the kids get home and those kind of things. Adult stuff.
Yep.
But how about you, man? What's going on? Just at home with the baby, huh?
Yeah. Finally, it only took me like 9 months, but I finally beat the Guardians of the Galaxy video game the other night.
I saw that. It's a great game, huh?
It is good. And I beat it and I was like, well, that's done, and automatically deleted it from my system. I got to free up that space on the PS5. So,
dude,
for what? I don't know, because there's not really anything out for it that I want to play right now. But
Gotham Knights is coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I might get that for PC
or Cowabunga Collection.
I'm gonna get that for the Switch. I want that for the Switch so I can play it on the go. It's just something,
probably a good idea.
Just something nostalgic about playing that classic NES version of Turtles on a Nintendo product that can't be beat. So
yeah, you're right. I have it loaded into my classic NES. All those games. I hacked I have all the classic systems that have come out: the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, and Sega, and I've hacked them all.
Nice.
Yeah. So
speaking of hackers, all the way from Fantastic Worlds, it's Ish.
What up, buddy?
I'm hacking up. Can you guys even hear me? I lost my voice earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not COVID, right?
No. Do you want Lance, I know earlier you asked me to wear a mask for the show, but I'm not going to. I think you'll be all right.
I need to be protected.
That's messed up ish. Lance is immunocompromised. That lack of brick oven pizza is compromising.
I know, man. My immune system just dropped.
As long as there's 6 feet between our screens, I think we're good.
What was it?
I guess I should move back then, because nobody wants to know that I'm actually secretly recording from your spare room in your house. So
I thought Ish was at a dentist's office.
Yeah. I thought he just, podcasted from a Motel 6 down the street from the comic shop.
I'm going to tease you every time about that painting.
Him and Stinson both, man. Like
here.
Stinson has like the terrible drapes.
There you go.
Yeah, he looks like he's podcasting from a brothel.
One day I'll come on and my background will be like a fucking spaceship and you'll all be jealous.
Stumbling Jedi says, I looked around for PS5 games today. Didn't see much out there I would want to get hooked on right now.
Yeah, I haven't really turned on any of my video game systems in a while because there hasn't been anything. I don't even know what to like. I bought Resident Evil 2 and that hasn't even brought me to go play it. It's only $13.
Eric Williams says it's like he's podcasting from my grandma's house.
I'm still playing.
You're still playing
I'm still playing NHL 13 on my PS3.
It's time to upgrade and get NHL 22.
Dude, you know what?
I still have like 10 seasons left in my career on the game. It's going to be a while. I'm coming up on a decade on one video game.
There you go.
Do you know what I miss? The NCAA games, the football ones. Hopefully with the NIL thing, it comes back out.
I was going to say, that's still the only time that the Leafs will win a Stanley Cup. Is when Ish is playing them.
You're lucky I can't yell right now. Speaking of video games, yesterday was the 30th anniversary of GoldenEye, the 25th. Third biggest selling Nintendo game of all time.
Way 25th. to
ruin one of our stories, Ish.
Yeah.
What
the hell, man? We had a whole slide and everything.
Yeah, you ruined it, Ish.
Jeez,
all right, just strike this from the record. Nobody heard a thing.
We had like those little kazoo things that have the things that blow out. Like we're gonna sing Happy Birthday. We were gonna go into a whole thing.
Damn.
Lance, we should make your way to Fantastic World yet to pick this up.
On the show.
No, I don't think mine. The one I ordered from Amazon is that glow in the dark one. So Ish has one for me, right? Jay and I are coming tomorrow. Ish.
Oh, I bet you are.
I will most likely not be there.
Yeah, but someone knows that I got stuff in the back, right? Hopefully.
Bill, I'll actually have to text him. I forgot to tell him.
Okay. No, I'm definitely going there because Jay and I are already planning it. Going. What time do you guys open?
11.
Okay. Yeah, we're leaving here at 10. Perfect.
I assume you'll be looking at pops. We do have a lot of pops. You want to ask Bill? We have 2 like giant boxes of pops in the back. We don't even have room for in the front.
Yeah.
So you can ask Bill and be like, "Hey, can I see the pops in the back?" He'll gladly show them to you.
Are they? Are there some good ones in there?
There are. Yeah, it's really random.
Okay.
So that's what we like to get. This crazy assortment of movie, TV, stuff we've never even heard of.
Anytime something comes
so many
out,
pops where I was like, I don't even know what this is.
Anytime something comes out that it says, "Oh, at your local comic store," I automatically text Ish. I'm like, put it in the back, and I still have not gone there to get any of it. So Ish is very good about keeping stuff for me. I am not very good about picking it up. Yeah, I know. What the hell is that all about? Jeez,
it's overdue.
We got Well, we're gonna meet at Matt's wedding. Yeah, unless you didn't get an invite.
Invites haven't gone out yet.
It just got
awkward. You can tell him Matt can be a douche. It's awkward. This is when we need sound effects like crickets or something. Yours haven't gone out yet, Matt?
No.
My buddy's is a week before yours, and I just got his like 2 days ago.
That's you could blame Aaron for that one because I don't deal with that. That's all her. I'm hands off.
I don't get offended if I don't get invited to weddings.
I'm hands off on that. That's her. She just asked for addresses, and I was like, "Here you go." She says, "Working on it."
I don't even know if anybody's asked for my. I don't think you guys asked for my address, did you? Or
She
maybe
says,
you have it.
Aaron says, "Dude, you sound terrible. I feel like I'm getting sick just listening to you."
Oh my gosh, we're losing subscribers.
That's about right. That's
Mask
right.
up, Ish. Mask up.
Oh man.
If you got a baby announcement, dude, then we have your address. And
Did I
Max
get a baby
got one,
announcement?
so yes, you probably
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Where is
What's up,
Max
Patrick?
tonight? Is he at Rogue One?
Probably. He's
Great movie. Don't know if it's a movie that I need to like go pay to see. I already bought it on 4K.
Aaron says that
I
she
can go
has
see it
your
at IMAX
address from
again.
when we sent you pizza.
Oh, that's right. You guys were so nice about that.
Yeah.
Anna was super sick?
She had her surgery.
Yeah, and I was here trying to hold the fort down with a baby that was nursing and couldn't nurse because Anna was in the hospital. Yeah, your wife, or not wife yet, but kind of wife.
Might as well be.
Yeah, really saved the day. Matt had nothing to do with that. She made sure to tell me, Aaron did, don't thank Matt for this. He's a piece of shit. He didn't do it. It was all Aaron.
Basically. She said, man, it cost me like $50 to get that family pizza because Lance got to have fucking gluten free. I said, fuck that guy.
Mine's actually like the gluten because I think she got us Domino's, right?
Probably.
It's only $10. I think like the regular kind is like $8.
She's like, fuck. I was like, fuck that guy. You don't need no gluten free pizza. But
yeah, they really gouge you on that stuff, dude. Because they order the crust from like some other company. I tell Anna all the time. I was like, let's just order the crust and make it ourselves. But whatever.
Patrick.
Soon to be wife. If only there was a word for that.
But
I don't want to sound like a douche saying Matt's fiance.
I don't like saying it either. Like,
yeah, fiance
it's
just
so
seems
weird.
like
yeah. That's not.
Feels like you're way beyond that stage, huh?
Yeah, dude. We live together. We have a kid together. Like, she's essentially my wife. There's just not a little piece of paper saying so. Like, it is what it is. You know. You don't get much more married than creating life together. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but then you need the piece of paper. So, in order to get away from you, she has to go get a judge.
Yeah.
So you lock that shit down.
The kid kind of does that too. So.
Yeah, no, the judge is what keeps you around.
Yeah.
In that situation. Oh man.
Yeah, she said I don't have rights to the assets yet.
Did you get the life insurance policy on him, Aaron?
My shitty little hovel that we live in. But
oh man.
All right. Well, enough about
she blew you kisses. Oh, so nice. So nice.
I know. Enough about all that craziness. Let's get into a little bit of geek news. Shall we? Shall we? Kicking off our top story on Geek News tonight. A live-action series focusing on the origins of the classic movie monster King Kong and the mysteries of his home, Skull Island, is currently in early development at Disney+. The series is based on C. Cooper's original King Kong film from 1933, as well as the modern novelization by Joe DeVito. The Disney+ series will be unrelated to legendary Warner Brothers films MonsterVerse, which also heavily involves King Kong.
So is King Kong like in the public domain? How can Warner Brothers and Disney make a movie about the same character?
I wonder if it has to do with the version that they're doing.
Maybe.
I wonder if they have like the rights to actually do the
it says
classic
it's based
adaptation
on the novelization and an original
and the original
film.
movie.
So those could be rights separate to the current, whatever they're calling it, MonsterVerse.
Well, it's kind of like Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh just entered the public domain. And so anybody can make Winnie the Pooh. They just can't use the Disney version that we've all seen. You know, the yellow bear and certain characters, I think, are not allowed to be used. Tigger can't be used for like another 10 years or something
So
like
he
that.
has to be an orange bear with a blue shirt.
Yeah. Did you see the horror movie come out? The Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
It looks terrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. But Disney can't do shit about it. I would not be surprised if potentially we start seeing less and less Winnie the Pooh stuff at Disney.
I don't think so. Winnie the Pooh has got to be like their biggest seller for kids. There's Winnie the Pooh on everything, man.
Yeah, maybe that version of it. I didn't see it in the PowerPoint. I don't know if you put it in there, but Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are entering the public domain. Like Superman in 10 years, Batman in like 13 years, and Wonder Woman in like 15 years.
That's pretty hard to fathom.
Yeah, I just read it on Yahoo like yesterday. They're 2034.
Stumbling Jedi.
Well, unless they just renew the copyright. I mean,
no, public domain. There's a potential because Mickey Mouse was about to enter the public domain, but Disney was able to do something. So there's that potential. But like when Superman, what the article was saying is when Superman enters the public domain, he'll be like the 1933 version of Superman. Like, so I don't even think the 1933 version like flew. The article was saying something like, so certain things that he got, they can't put in there.
Under U.S. law, working introduction before 1978 enters the public domain 95 years after they were first published, officially taking effect the following January 1. In the case of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, they made their first appearances in 1938, 1939, and 1941, respectively. Therefore, Superman would enter the public domain on January 1st, 2034, Batman on January 1st, 2035, and Wonder Woman on January 1st, 2037.
But they're saying that expect a whole bunch of litigation, but they can't renew copyright on public domain. I don't know how that works.
It says these characters are like crown jewels of the DC and therefore extremely important to Warner Brothers Discovery. The company is likely to put up a fight, and anyone looking to take advantage of them being in the public domain would face an uphill battle. It says, for starters, there have been plenty of potentially divert works of the characters. In other words, the copyright holder DC creates a second separate work based on the original work. The Superman of 2022 is nothing like the Superman of 1938, he said. So, yeah, it's got to be you're right. It's got to be the original. They would have to make something basically based on the original incarnation of them.
Yeah, and that
so
doesn't
they can
even
actually
open
go
up
back
like
to Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
So like
which DC has abandoned.
Yeah, you're gonna get like this Batman right here, like old school OG Detective Comics 1 Batman.
Man, so there's a Detective 27.
I do. I'm just balling like that, man.
Dude,
it is 9.8 condition, man.
Dude,
9.8.
Is that a reprint or is that legit?
Number 27.
If that was legit, it would be about $4 million.
Yeah, dude, it's not legit. It's the facsimile that came out this week. Yeah.
Oh,
beautiful.
Apparently, there's something called a Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act, also known as the Mickey Mouse Protection Act. This is what I was talking about, how Mickey Mouse was about to enter the public domain. And it says,
oh, go ahead.
It says, would last the life of the author plus 50 years or 75 years from publication or 100 years from creation, whichever is shorter for a work of corporate authorship, works made for hire.
Well, this article says Steamboat Willie, the first iteration of Mickey Mouse, is set to enter the public domain in 2024. That version of the character is far different from the modern day Mickey Mouse, which would likely still be protected. Some Republican lawmakers have vowed to stop Disney from attempting to extend the copyright protection on Steamboat, the Los Angeles Times reported in May. So I don't know why I mean, what are you gonna? What's? Are you afraid people are gonna start making like steamboat Mickey porn or something? Like really?
Steambutt, maybe.
What stopped
Steambutt.
them? We've got Guardians of the Galaxy porn parodies. We've got Avengers
yeah.
porn parodies. Like, what stops them from putting on Mickey ears and?
Oh fuck!
What?
Joe's Doolin says Sony Bono like George of the Jungle. Watch out for that tree.
Ooh,
Nah,
Is that how he died?
Yeah,
Sonny Bono.
he hit a tree and died.
See, now I can't. Bono.
Sonny Bono.
Eminem.
Bono, right?
Isn't it Eminem makes fun of him in a song for it? It's like Shooby Doo Wop and Christopher Reeves.
Oh boy.
Sonny Bono skis, rides horses, and hitting some trees or something like that.
That sounds a bit rudimentary to be Eminem. Is it Eminem?
Yeah, it's like Marshall Mathers LP Eminem. Like, yeah, but moving on to the next.
Oh, I was just saying, get back to the Kong thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I agree with your mom. I don't want to see a Disney King Kong. That sounds crappy. There'd be two things I want to see: a sequel to the Kong Skull Island that we got, or if we do a prequel. I'd like to see a Peter Jackson King Kong prequel. Otherwise, forget about it. I'm Disney. I'm not interested in Disney Plus King Kong.
Well, the next Kong you're getting is Kong Godzilla 2.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
And it's Kong and Godzilla are teaming up to fight a new.
What, Mothra or something? Or no, Mothra was in the last one, right?
But it says they're teaming up to fight a new threat. So
that movie was so dumb.
Which one?
Godzilla versus Godzilla. Whatever it's called. They put this big marquee about these two monsters. Skull Island was good. I like that one. But they put this big marquee together about these two monsters fighting with each other, and every time they're fighting, you see Eleven's face going. You see the people more than you see the monsters fight. That movie sucked.
Stick Boy says Disney already did a King Kong. It's called Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mighty Ho Hung. That must be the porn parody. Mighty Ho Hung. But
that was a good era for Disney, man. Like Mighty Joe Young.
Disney doesn't need Kong. They have Echo.
Operation Dumbo Drop. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Yeah. Was that Bill Murray in that one?
No, it was
Bill Murray in that one?
Danny Glover, wasn't it?
Operation Dumbo Drop.
Yeah. Bill Murray.
I need to watch that one again. But that was what was that? Like early 90s? Mid 90s?
Something like that.
That's when Disney was making the least amount of money that they've made in their history. That's like when Brother Bear came out and all those other movies, like they were really struggling. But those live action movies were gold, man.
Joe's Doolin says, how about Dunstan checks in?
It's Dennis Leary, not Bill Murray.
I thought Bill Murray is in Operation Dumbo Drop.
I don't see him on the casting list.
I thought he was.
It's Ray Liotta and Danny Glover.
And Dennis Leary.
And I guess Dennis Leary.
Well, on the picture, it's the three of them.
Then that's got to be Mandela effect, because I swear to God, Bill Murray was in that movie.
Was he in another movie that maybe was close to that one? Maybe you're thinking of?
Maybe. But
when did this movie come out? It came out in 1995.
That's
what
gonna
movie
be
would be close to that?
I swear to God.
A war movie about dropping an elephant. Isn't that what it's about?
Groundhog
Yeah,
Day?
what?
No, it's not Groundhog's Day.
There's probably a ton of movies all about the same subject of being in a war and dropping elephants.
What is Larger Than Life? Larger Than Life is it came out a year after, and it's about an elephant.
Then that's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah.
Because I I just remember distinctly Bill Murray being in a movie with an elephant.
It's funny. Everyone remembers Operation Dumbo Drop, so it's like, how bad was the other movie?
Right. Obviously, it's bad enough that I'm incorporating the two together.
You know what I want them to remake? Like, they're making all these remakes that nobody really cares about. You know what I want to see come back? Angels in the Outfield. I love those fucking movies. What was the other one?
Remake of that.
They did Angels in the Outfield and they had a sequel, but all that was from the 90s. I don't
They
think
had
they've done
Angels in the End Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Look, unless they make Jordan Gordon-Levitt like the dad or the baseball player, I don't want to remake that movie. They could just have Danny Glover be the same character again. So
yeah, they should.
Patrick says Operation Dumbo Drop is Dennis Leary's best flick for sure. Rookie of the year.
Sad.
We don't need another movie about Henry Rowan Gardner.
Was Rookie of the Year the one where he breaks his arm and can pitch really fast? Yeah.
Yes. I want to see Three Ninjas and Surf Ninjas get remade. You're a fucking asshole, Jedi. I'm okay with Three Ninjas, but Surf Ninjas is the worst pile of dog shit ever.
I still need to show my kids Three Ninjas. I showed them Rookie of the Year just a few weeks ago, actually.
It would be like the new version would be something like Segway Ninjas or something.
It's like Rob Schneider tried to do a movie without Adam Sandler, and that's what Surf Ninjas was.
Have you seen the trailer for Rob Schneider's new Arizona-based movie?
Yes.
What is it?
Something traveling with daddy and daughter or something.
Yeah, it looks absolutely terrible. Yeah, funky butt loving is the best Disney quote from a kids movie ever.
Pledge Trip?
No, it's not Pledge Trip. It's a new Arizona-based movie, and it's only showing at Harkins Theaters. It's like Daddy Trip or
Daddy Daughter Trip.
Yes, that's what it is. It is absolute hot dog.
Rob
shit.
Schneider has this inexplicable hairdo that I don't understand. It's like there's nobody in charge of that movie to say no. Don't do
right.
that.
And the acting in it looks terrible. And it's still got a Sandler in it where Adam Sandler's wife plays his wife in that movie. So like he just still can't get away from the house that Sandler built. Like
I'm sure he makes a cameo.
Rob Schneider.
He's a cool dude. I like Rob Schneider though.
Well, yeah, you got to say that because he shops at your store.
Hey now.
Does he?
Yeah, he's been in. He's a Scottsdaleite now.
Yeah, that's the other one is who's the other one from that crew? The dude with David Spade.
Oh yeah,
graduated from ASU. He's a big Arizona dude.
Spade, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Beverly Hills Ninja was awesome. That's Chris Farley, right?
Yes, that is Chris.
Yeah, Stumbly, you're absolute. I love that fucking movie. It's so bad, it's good.
Moving on, we get our first look at the Ironheart armor from Wakanda Forever. Thanks to some merchandise from Black Panther Wakanda Forever being on sale at Target.
Yeah, it's already buy two, get one free, and the movie hasn't even come out.
Yeah. But it looks bad. So you see it on the picture here, and on the side, it's our actual
like a
comic
really
book
bad
armor.
Power Rangers.
It does. It looks like a very terrible Power Rangers armor.
The Funkos are buy one, get one free, not that toy-ish.
Okay.
But
yeah. But those are the cheap ones, the ones that like the arms don't move and stuff.
So you get your
for like little
kids.
kids.
Namor.
Yeah,
you get your Namor, your Shiri, and your Riri Williams.
I'm still on the fence about Namor, dude. I don't know. Like, when you guys picture Namor, is that what you see?
No. But I get why they changed him, and I'm okay with that. They made him like Aztec based.
Oh, I don't care about like skin color and stuff. I'm just saying that like what he's
not just his skin color, they're giving him like Aztec like jewelry.
Yeah.
You know,
his costume
is
I don't care.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Aztec.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Which I guess if they explain that Atlantis is in the Gulf of Mexico,
maybe
it would make sense, I guess. That's the only way that would make sense.
I'm sure I see him enough and I'll start overlooking it, but it's just not what I had pictured.
But Matt's right, that Riri Lionheart looks terrible. Not
yeah, I mean it
whatever.
You know, it should be. I think you give her she should have the pink armor, and you know, not this new red version. You got to kind of separate her more from Tony Stark than it looks like they are here. Hopefully, when she gets the Ironheart, her own show, she'll get more of the comic book accurate armor. But for that being, if that's really the final Riri armor, That is no bueno. That is not a good choice for armor.
That's bad. I like
Yeah,
how
I'm
the
not a
chat's
fan.
all in for Namor banging Sue Storm on screen.
Is that a comic
Joe's
line?
Doolin says
Did they end up
Namor is
together?
so damn short.
That's in the
Leftover says
original,
Namor
like,
sucks, but I don't care.
first 10 issues of Fantastic Four. One of the story arcs that kind of comes in and out of the comics is Sue, I think like at least twice, leaves Reed for Namor.
Really?
Yeah, Joe's Doolin. As long as he bangs Sue Storm, all is forgiven.
So, like, the hell? My lights just turned on.
Six boy, you might never see her coming, but you'll hear it.
Oh, yikes.
Like for a while, like all we would talk about was like when are they going to come out with Namor? Namor is the character they should come out, like kind of like Nova. Nova's been in a conversation for a long time.
People have been waiting for Namor for a while. He's the
Now
original
he's
mutant.
here.
He's the first X-Men, but they're not treating it that way.
Now that he's here, it just feels like it's being largely untalked about, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's
Because
kind
all
of
we
being.
know is what's in the trailer, which is nothing.
Well, not just that though, too. He's being overshadowed by the fact that the big question of the movie is who's replacing Chadwick Boseman? Who's the new Black Panther? How are they going to handle that? That's completely overshadowing the fact that they're adding Namor to this movie and that Namor is coming to the MCU.
But I also wonder if maybe some of like the X-Men casting news is kind of overshadowing Namor too. Fantastic Four, X-Men, like those are bigger characters, wouldn't you say?
Hartman says, I doubt it, but Disney could show full penetration. Yeah, I really do think that as far as what's driving, I think that's really what's driving this movie. The first one was so good, but I think what's really driving this movie is who is going to take up that mantle. And by the first trailer, you can tell that they're really driving, they're steering into that.
Yeah. I think
hard.
it's going to be a misdirect too. I think there's going to be something that's leading us to believe that it's Shuri, and then it's going to be there's going to be a misdirect.
Or it might be one of these things where it's like we're all Black Panther, and anyone could be.
Well, it shows somebody in the costume.
Yeah.
In the trailer. I wonder if there's going to be some sort of time jump, and it's going to be his son.
No, I know, but I have my theories on who it potentially might be.
Who do you think?
But
who do you think? Can't say that and not give it.
I can say that, and I just did. I think it's going to be Nakia, his like love interest from the first movie.
Oh, from she's in Us, isn't she? That's the same actress.
I think so. I'm not sure.
She is gorgeous, dude.
Yeah, his love interest. I think that's what the big swerve is going to be. Is that it's going to be because there's that scene in the movie where his mom's like standing in front of that Senate and she's screaming and saying, "I've lost my entire family. Haven't I not given enough?" So it makes you wonder if something happens to Shuri or after whatever happens to T'Challa, if she like takes off. I kind of feel like Riri is definitely going to be like one of the kids that they got from the outreach program at the end of the first one when they're like expanding Wakanda. I think that's how she's going to come into play. But like I said, my theory is that it's Nikita in the armor and it's not Shuri.
You don't think that it's I don't know how to say her name.
Okoye?
Michonne.
Okoye?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's Okoye. She's one of the Nigerian. They're already badass as it is. She don't need no damn armor.
Yeah.
She's out there whooping ass, more ass than T'Challa was without armor.
I think I prefer
it should be Killmonger. They got to bring him back, make him the Black Panther.
He's listed in the cast for this movie.
See, that could be the big reveal. I'm hoping.
See, I think there's going to be a scene where, remember how in the first Black Panther there's a scene where he goes to like the astral plane and sees his father. I think there's going to be a scene where Shuri goes to the astral plane and T'Challa's not there. She's met by Killmonger. and that's
But
who
didn't
talks
he
to her
die
so
kind
much.
of unworthy? I'm trying to remember that movie.
No, I don't think so.
Did he redeem himself at the end?
Do you need redemption to go to the astral plane?
Well, I don't know. Like, there's that whole like tree of life and stuff there. I thought it was like for all former like kings. I don't know. I thought you.
Well, I mean, he was.
Well, he was
technically-
he had royal blood, so
Yeah. He's the nephew. He's T'Challa's cousin, so
he's got the privilege of the monarchy.
I just thought it was like more like a heaven and hell thing. Like you had to be worthy more than just blood.
Zaggy saying Shiri signed like a 5-year contract. She did, but then there was a lot of that controversy where she was very like, I think she was very anti-vax with COVID. She can't. There was a lot of issues. She got hurt, and they had to like shelve the movie for a while because she got hurt during filming. So I think there was a lot of stuff. She made comment, I believe, about not even wanting to do the movie anymore or be in the movie anymore. So I don't know if they're banking on her because she might up and bail on them. So,
well, and if you remember, and I don't remember exactly who it was, but we've heard of contract extensions for these Marvel characters before, and then they get axed.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it could be a misdirect again.
Zaggy says Disney will tickle her pickle with more money.
All I know is that if I'm to look at Nakia and Shuri and figure out which one looks more physically imposing, like Nakia seems to me like she could be like an action hero. You know what I mean? Shuri is like the size of a toothpick.
Yeah, she's like 50 pounds wet.
Yeah, like I just don't see that being a good choice. Like,
But
it's a sensible choice.
That hasn't stopped Disney at all.
No, because they digitally buffed up Natalie Portman to play play Thor. So
I thought that was real. That's not real. I thought she's been working in the gym.
She has been, but I have read articles that they used a lot of camera tricks and digital effects to make her look bigger than she is.
Yeah, I know when she was in the suit, they made her stand on like a pedestal so she could be like closer in height to Chris Hemsworth.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know about the bulking. Like, I thought that was all her.
I could be wrong. I'm just saying I think it looks fake because of the way they did. Because there's a reason when, in the movie, when Thor's coming back to Asgard and they're getting attacked in the middle of the night, like there's a reason you follow Mjolnir, and when she catches it, they do that camera shot the way they do is to put emphasis and make her look bigger than she actually is.
Interesting.
But,
because she is tiny.
Yes.
Tiny.
Hey, did you take this picture, Matt, or is this something you found online?
No, I found it online.
Damn, I need that He That Remains pop. He Who Remains.
I should have looked at Target when I was there today, but I didn't.
Yeah, I've been looking for that one. I haven't found it yet.
But we'll know in a couple months when Wakanda Forever hits theaters. Moving on to the next story. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is joining the 4th season of The Boys. Prime Video recently announced that The Walking Dead star Jeffrey Dean Morgan has been cast in season 4 of The Boys. Morgan's role in season 4 is being kept a secret for now. The actor is set to join his former Supernatural co-star Jensen Ackles, who debuted as Soldier Boy in Prime Video's hit superhero show. In response to the news, Prime Video dropped a celebratory meme on social media, marking the actor's upcoming debut in the franchise. Look, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He shit the bed as Negan. All right. Negan in the comic books was such a good villain and so unique. And now he just basically turned him into a dude with back problems because he's constantly like leaning, like looking like he's going to enter a limbo contest in The Walking Dead.
You know who they should have cast as Negan?
Henry Rollins.
Yeah,
that's who he's modeled after.
But the dude, he was in Fear the Walking Dead, the cowboy. He like is in a relationship with Dharma. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He that's how he got the Fear the Walking Dead thing. He auditioned for Negan. He would have been perfect, dude. If not Henry Rollins, because Negan, I mean, that it's like they look like the same person.
Stick Boy thinks he's going to play Soldier Boy's dead father, so that would make him Soldier Boy, and so that would make him Homelander's grandfather.
But I did like him in Watchmen. He's like one of the few, but he's not in a whole lot of it. He plays the comedian in Watchmen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But he's just
Yeah.
in everything. Like, it just seems like every hit franchise, superhero franchise that comes around, he finds his way into it. So it's only a matter of time before he's in a Marvel movie. You know,
Well,
so
the reason he's in this is because the showrunner for this is the same guy that created Supernatural. And he said a few months ago that his goal is to get the 3 Supernatural guys all on the same screen again. Jensen, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Jared Padalecki.
so then he should just go do an episode of Walker. Or aren't they going to probably end up being in the Supernatural prequel?
Maybe if they do
The
like
Winchesters?
a flash forward, I guess. It's all younger, like they're like in their 20s. John and Mary in that show. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but
I disagree, Patrick. I mean, yeah, AMC did the show dirty, but he is not a good compliment to Negan. Dude, Henry Rollins would have been so much better. There was better choices than Jeffrey Dean Morgan. They went for a name
notoriety.
That had notoriety for that character, and they really, really watered him down.
Yeah, Garrett Dillahunt, that's the dude from Fear the Walking Dead. He's such a good actor, and he doesn't get enough roles.
But I just don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of tired of him popping up in these superhero franchises. And I like the guy. I like his acting, and I just like. I think who said it? Someone said he's getting typecast. I saw it in the chat. I think it was Joe's Doolin. Yeah. Will he be the same Negan / comedian character? He's getting typecast. So
I don't know. I know in that first season of Negan, when he was really menacing and he was running like that community, I thought it was good, but it quickly, as soon as he gets captured, it just goes downhill, I think.
He's like leaning back, and I don't know, like
I wouldn't know. I haven't watched probably the last like 4 seasons of The Walking Dead.
He's like constantly leaning back, like he's like trying to win a limbo contest.
Where
he's trying to win a
How did
Saviors
Olivia
limbo
Munn come
contest.
up?
I have no idea. No idea. I think Hartman's just stating that he would lick dirt off Olivia Munn.
She was horribly cast in that X-Men movie. That was bad.
Oh, well, because she was in. That's right, because they did the spin-off series, the Tales from the Walking Dead. They had the first episode 2 weeks ago, or a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago. It was her and Terry Crews were in the very first episode. So they're like standalone mini stories from the Walking Dead universe. So,
what character did she play in the X-Men?
She was Psylocke.
Yeah, that was bad.
No, Joe Dillon, there's not a wrong time to bring up Olivia Munn.
No, I was just trying to figure out why. Oh man, she is very attractive. Didn't she get her start like basically doing what we do on G2?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only good saving grace I think about him and the boys is you'll probably get to see what he could have been as Negan if it was
they can push
on
the boundary
HBO
a little bit
versus AMC. But
I just don't understand the spin-off show that they're doing, The Walking Dead, with him and Maggie. He killed Glenn. Why the fuck are they doing a show together?
Because there's a story arc in the comics. They didn't do a show together, but there is a story arc, and they kind of touch on it in the show too, where she kind of forgives him. She
for
forgives
killing
him.
Glenn. I haven't forgiven him for killing Glenn.
Yeah, she kind of makes her peace with it, and they make amends in a way, and then that's kind of what happens as like when he leaves the comic book, when they kind of write him out of the comic book, he goes on his own way. But she like follows him to a cabin in the woods, and she's about to kill him, and then she forgives him and lets him go, and that's like the end of the Negan story arc. But
so this is all going to be unwritten, like there's no comic based on this story.
Correct. The only thing that's comic book based, still even remotely close, is the main show. And I mean, I don't know. I think these spin-offs are a misdirect. So because everyone knows the way now. The comic ended fucking years ago, so everyone knows the way the comic ends. So you're kind of assuming the show's going to end similarly. So Rick's gone. They wrote Rick off, and they're doing the Rick and Michonne show now for AMC Plus. So they can't kill
Carl's
him because
gone.
he's not in the main show. Carl's gone, and he was like one of the last remaining survivors, other than Sophia and some of the group from the beginning to end in the book, because it follows old man Carl at the end of the book. And now, so Rick dies in the second to last issue. Spoiler alert if you haven't read it yet. And it ends with old man Carl like retelling the story of his father to his kid. So Carl's
that was a
gone, Rick's
mistake.
gone. Who's gonna take the bullet? Who's gonna get the Rick's
Daryl.
death? And that's who I think it is too. But they announced that Daryl and Carol spinoff show, and then Carol, the actress who plays Carol, dropped out, and now they're saying they're just gonna have a Daryl Dixon show. Well, is it going to be set in the middle of events, like, because he goes out on his own after Rick dies? So is it going to be set in like that time period, or is it going to be something that happens before or
Wait,
after?
I thought he wasn't in the comic.
Daryl's not in the comic.
So what are you talking about? He goes off
So
on his own after Rick dies.
When Rick dies in the show, when they blow up the bridge and he gets taken off in the helicopter and everyone thinks he's dead,
I misunderstood. Okay.
He goes off on his own, and there's a couple of years there where he's like out on his own. So unless the story's gonna be there, but I think they're misdirect. Like, I think they're announcing these shows that aren't actually ever going to be made. Like, I think the only ones that I think it was going to is the Maggie and Negan one, just because they've already started kind of showing stuff from that show.
They changed the title of it a couple days ago.
To what? What is it now?
What was it before?
I just know
Tales of the Walking Dead. Like, wasn't it Isle of Dead or something like that?
It might be Isle of Dead. Tales of the Walking Dead is the like spin-off series where each episode is a standalone episode. But
just changed. Yeah, The Walking Dead,
yes.
Maggie and Negan spinoff gets a new title. Isle of the Dead was only the working title. Now it's called Dead City. So it's The Walking Dead, Dead City. I remember seeing that and I was like, Dead City? Like, I don't like it, but whatever.
Norman Reedus needs to leave The Walking Dead and be Ghost Rider. I agree. But yeah, so I think Daryl's going to get that death. I really do. I think he's going to get the comic book death. And I think that it's going to be Judith, who is the old
one
person
telling the story.
And yeah,
I think this show just went on too long.
Yeah,
I mean, I was obsessed with it. I lost interest in it. Like, the writing just started to feel not very fresh. It got way too convoluted with all these different camps and stuff. And then they were just killing off characters to kill off characters. Like, I thought it was a mistake killing off Carl.
Yes, it was.
And then they killed off who was his love interest that I really like. She ends up with her head on a spike.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name though.
I didn't even watch that episode, but I read about it and I was like, yeah, they're just killing people to kill people.
Well, his love interest in the comic book is Alpha's daughter, and then at the end he ends up with Sophia. So yeah, because there was some crazy shit.
First season, right?
There was some crazy shit. Yeah, season 2, she dies. There's some crazy shit in the comic book where like she really like is the first one that made him embrace, because he gets shot in the face in the comic book and like loses his eye and shit. So he's just got an eye socket, and she kind of makes him embrace that. And like he shows her the wound and she licks his eyeball. It has like empty eye socket and shit. And then they have sex. So like she takes his virginity in the comic book and shit too. So
he had the eye patch, right? He got the eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he used to wear like a bandana around it and stuff for a while. And then he had like his hair would just cover it too. So he like, well, it wasn't really an eye patch. He wore glasses, and he wore like sunglasses, and one of the glasses was like darked out, and then one of them was like the lens missing.
Yeah, they I don't know. It's hard for me. Like, if I get invested into a show, it's really got to go off the rails to like get me to stop watching it. And this is one of those shows. Like I just stopped. I wasn't excited about it anymore. Like I just stopped.
Yeah, I left and came back. I was like, I gave it so many seasons. I gotta just finish it up. So I caught up, and I'm excited for the last couple episodes, but it's past its time. It's ready to go.
Well, and then Fear the Walking Dead was getting really good too. And then they did that time jump and I lost interest in it. They killed off Voldemort. I forget the actor. You know,
well, then they killed off the main girl, Alicia, at the end of the last season. So it's like
the main girl from the 100, the daughter.
Yeah,
they killed her off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Then they killed off what was he, like a stepdad or something in the helicopter, right?
Yep. And then they killed off the heroin addict brother.
Yeah, that was Voldemort. He played Voldemort.
Oh, did
he? Yeah, in the Harry Potter movies, he was like the young one. I don't know what his name was, but he was in Harry Potter. And I thought he was really interesting character, and they killed him off too soon. Then they killed the mom at the bridge, right? The dam exploded.
She got locked into a I want to say she got locked in a stadium that was overrun with walkers.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the stadium where they were building like a little community, like they had a farm in it and stuff, right?
Yep.
But didn't she come back?
She's coming back in the new season.
Yeah, all these shows. I might go watch that Terry Crews one because I like Terry Crews.
It was interesting. I mean, it was good enough for what it was.
And it's just a single bite. Like there's no subsequent episodes or anything. It's just one.
So they're doing like an alpha prequel. They talked about a little bit of the panel I went to when I was at San Diego Comic-Con. So they're doing an alpha prequel where you kind of see like Alpha before she becomes Alpha. And then you got she's like the big baddie in one of the seasons. She's like
the one with the straight bangs?
No, she's bald. She's the leader of the Whisperers.
Oh, I didn't even watch that. Who's the one with that lives at the dump that has the straight bangs?
I want to say Jada, or no, it starts with a J. I can't think of the name of it right now. I want to say Jada, but I don't think it's Judah or something like that.
The Whispers was after that season, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Zaggy says, "Who's Alpha? You're fired."
I don't watch the show, man. I just thought it got really lame and really predictable, and it just seemed like they were writing story arcs to cause like shock, like killing off these characters that they had no business really killing off. I don't know. And then Rick left and Michonne left, and like everybody of interest I was never that interested in Daryl ever. I thought he was overrated.
Yeah.
My main interest was Glenn. Killed him, but you knew that was like he actually died the right way. But then they also try to spin it to get people into the show by killing Abraham in that same scene when he doesn't die that way in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The show just got really lame.
If I remember correctly from the comics, Abraham gets an arrow shot through his face. That's how he dies.
Yeah,
but
it's just a lot of it. Like it was such the writing in the beginning was just so good, like the dialogue, the character development, and then it just seemed like the writers got lazy. They're like, "Oh, we have a hit show, and these people will watch it no matter what." Well, their ratings have gone down dramatically over the last few years, which is why these Rick things are not movies; they're
but
TV
it's
shows.
Still one of the highest rated TV shows. It's for Walking Dead wise, yes, their ratings have tanked, but it's still like one of the most watched cable TV shows every year.
Because I don't hear about anybody talking about it.
That's
anymore.
why they're making spin-offs of it, dude. It's still one of the highest watched cable TV shows. But all right, let's move on. Warner Brothers Discovery financial troubles are reportedly to blame for Shazam's Fury of the Gods and Aquaman the Lost Kingdom being pushed on the release calendar. As they're said to have no money and no clue or direction of the new regime in charge of DC. That would be Warner Discovery. So Shazam Fury of the Gods is now scheduled to open in theaters March 7th, 2023. Aquaman the Lost Kingdom will follow on December 25th, 2023.
He meant to say March 17th, not March 7th.
I did say, okay, yeah, sorry, 17th, not 7th. But
do not show up to your movie theaters on March 7th.
yeah. Well, dude, yeah, in our group chat today, Max was like, "Oh, I hope it's because they're rebooting the Snyderverse and they're just doing reshoots, add the shit." Nah, dude, the Snyderverse lost them so much money, and with the way this new regime is acting, and they're just dumping everything, they're not going to risk it on trying to reboot the Snyderverse.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No.
Wait, what do you mean they lost so much money?
The Snyderverse was
Batman versus Superman was like a $900 million movie.
But it's not. But they didn't make. I don't think they made as much movie that cost them to.
Justice League lost money
back. Yeah, they lost.
I guess
they're considered flops,
and they need the
box
like.
Office.
Batman versus Superman is not a flop.
It's DC looks at it as a flop.
That one, if you take two of your $1 billion, they made their money back on that one.
Did it make that? I thought it was only like 700 million.
Aquaman 2 made a fucking $1 billion also.
No, it didn't because it hasn't come out yet.
No, Aquaman also.
Oh, okay. I was like, Aquaman 2 hasn't come out yet. Now Ish is making shit up.
Yeah, but they need these movies to be critical darlings, like Marvel. Well, Batman and Superman 872 million. Which, if you look at a movie with, it is a lot of money. But if you look at a movie with two of their marquee characters, like think about Spider-Man made $1.1 billion Far From Home. 1.1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It was Sony's highest grossing movie to date out of any movie in Sony's complete history. 872 million for a movie, and then to just be roasted in like as far as critics are concerned. It was not sustaining. And then Justice League I think Justice League made 600 million. But you also got to consider budget, right? 250 million. That's just the budget to make the movie. Then you got to think about advertising that goes into that. Then you got to think about production of like they have to split the profits with the theaters, right? It's 872 million when you're making a $250 million movie. Is not a huge return. I was just watching Matt Damon talk about it today on TikTok.
All right, but that's not also a flop. I mean, that's a lot.
Not a flop.
People,
no,
a lot of people went to see that movie.
Yeah, it's not a flop. But
whether
what I'm saying,
the mathematics, the financials worked out or not in the end is different. But a lot of people. A flop is nobody went to see it.
Yeah, a flop would be
shit ton of people. $900 million worth of people went to go see that.
But it's not doing Marvel numbers, and in DC's eyes,
I argued that last week with DC's problem when Superman and Batman need to do Marvel type numbers, or there's something definitely wrong.
Yeah, what Matt said, that not doing Marvel numbers. These are two of the most well-known characters, like characters in general, out of any other property in the world, and it only made that much like.
Not every Marvel movie makes Marvel numbers, though. You look at the Ant-Man movies.
But Ant-Man's not a marquee character like Batman and Superman.
He should be. Ant-Man's an OG Marvel superhero.
To us.
He's up there in the pantheon. He was there way before a lot of characters.
To us.
And Hank Pym was integral to the Avengers, West Coast Avengers, from the 60s through the 80s.
I agree, but he's not Spider-Man, nor is he Batman or Superman.
Nobody is.
Yeah, exactly.
Deadpool
That's what I'm saying.
Spider-Man.
Yes, but Deadpool has created like this.
And Deadpool was what?
hysteria.
Deadpool's numbers are probably the same to Batman versus Superman.
Yes, but it also has a much smaller budget. Much, much smaller budget than Batman versus Superman.
I wouldn't say probably much smaller.
You also got to look at it like week 2 numbers. So if it's not staying up at the top of the box office the second week it's out, it's a failure. No matter how much over the long run it brings it.
Sure, but now it's all about opening weekend. Your opening weekend has to be massive.
I think right now is they're putting all their money or all their eggs in the Rock basket. So if Black Adam comes out and it bombs, I think they write these two movies off, and you never see Shazam 2 or Aquaman 2. I think they Batgirl it.
You
And
want to
they're
hear
gonna
the
try to-
difference? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Matt.
I was gonna say, and they're gonna try and recoup some of the money in the write-off that they can do from the merger.
Yeah, there is a huge difference between Deadpool's budget and Batman versus Superman's budget. They made almost the same amount of money. Batman versus Superman budget was $250 million. Deadpool was $58 million. A $200 million difference in
$58
budget.
million, that sounds really low.
$58 million. There's not a whole lot. And consider this. Deadpool did Batman versus Superman numbers and was rated R, which typically do lower numbers than a
Yeah, that's a good
PG-13
point.
movie. So Deadpool was a tremendous success. So you all got to look at it through the scope, right? What was the budget? What was the
Yeah,
rating?
but like I said before, what you said they did about the same numbers, that means the same amount of people, in general, went to go see
Yeah,
it.
but one had a larger audience pool.
So when someone goes to see a movie, they don't care what the budget is.
No, but Batman versus Superman was a movie that could appeal to because it was PG-13. So more people could go see it.
Sure.
Yeah, you
But
as the
a lot
movie
of
viewer
people
don't give a
did.
shit about
You
what the
can't argue that they
budget
didn't.
is,
A
but
lot of people saw it.
No,
you as the moviegoer don't give a shit
More
about the
than
budget,
most
but the
movies.
studio will, and the studio's sitting there going, "Shit, if we're not in the green, what are we doing here?"
Of course.
but you understand what
But
I'm
there's
saying,
many
right?
ways
Like
to look at a movie, how successful it is, right? What the
Deadpool, when
critics say, what the box
Yeah.
office
But
versus
you
budget.
gotta
How many
agree, though,
people
Ish.
actually got off their butts to go see it? Like, there's a lot of determining factors to
Yes.
whether or not this
Well,
movie was
you-
a hit or a
you
flop.
have to
But-
agree though that just because people went and saw it doesn't mean that the word of mouth campaign on the movie was very good. Doesn't mean that it's
That's true.
held in high regard.
And if word of mouth is good, then even more people go to see
Yeah.
it.
It's
But I
not
think you guys are missing
held in
the-
high regards as far as like the fans go or the word of mouth goes. So just
Do
because
you think there were Batman fans who didn't go see Batman versus Superman because their friends told them it sucked?
Well, I mean, you're gonna go see Batman and Superman because it's the two marquee characters and you want to see that, but it doesn't make it a good movie.
Here's my thing, though. I think like
Yeah, okay,
Ish
I'm
keeps
not
saying the
arguing
same
that.
amount of people went and saw it. But what you're not understanding is Batman versus Superman could have 10-year-old kids go see it. You understand what I'm saying? You have 10 people.
I know a
half
lot
of
of
them are,
10-year-old kids who went to see Deadpool.
So do I.
Believe me.
But it wasn't in mass droves like a PG-13 movie.
Oh, it definitely was.
Deadpool became the highest grossing rated R movie of all time when it came out. It beat Matrix Reloaded.
I can tell you that I went to a showing for Deadpool 1 opening night, and there were probably more kids in there than there were adults.
Yeah,
It's
I
parents-
did have
Parents
the
going
kid
to
in
that
there.
movie. It's parents going to that movie with their kids, man, because it's Deadpool. Then
And consider this was the movie debut of a character. Right?
yeah,
Everybody's
Mhm.
familiar with Batman versus Superman. No one knew, besides in comic circles, no one knew who Deadpool was. Right? He became a phenomenon, pretty much.
well, I think he was kind of a phenomenon before that because he had a video game and all that, but it definitely helped solidify him. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this was Ant-Man was debut of a character that not many people were familiar with outside of our circles, right? That's why Iron Man the original Iron Man doing what it did was so amazing, because Iron Man was a huge gamble by Marvel Studios. It was the debut of a character. It was Marvel's first foray into making their own movie. And now you have Shang-Chi and all these other characters that people are just not familiar with. Shazam was a huge success because it was a character nobody knew anything about.
Well, Shazam also appealed
Shazam
to
made
the
no
younger crowd.
Didn't even make
What-
Snyderverse numbers.
What did Shazam 1 make?
And Joe's Doolin, don't be ashamed. That is nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah,
Shazam
no,
had
I
a
love
six-
Affleck Batman.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
I
did
think
too.
Batfleck is awesome. I would definitely want to see more of that. I thought he
He's the
was a
best
great
part of
Bruce
Batman. He's the
Wayne,
only redeeming grace of
and I loved
Batman.
him in kind of
Superman.
that Frank Miller-ish Batman suit. A Batman Superman extended cut, I think, is worth watching.
It's much better. It's much better because it completes some of the story. Like there's stuff in the original, the theatrical version that just doesn't make sense. Like the whole nightmare scene.
I might rank that as my favorite DCEU movie right now.
Oh, I wouldn't go that
the extended
high.
cut of Batman and Superman.
I definitely like Man of Steel better than I like Batman versus Superman.
See, I'm the opposite.
You got to consider like Shazam didn't do the number. Shazam did equal numbers to Ant-Man.
So kind of at the bottom of the barrel.
It did 400 million off a $62 million budget.
How is DC making these movies at like the quarter of budget, but with the same look?
You got to remember Shazam, like think back to what Shazam was. Like a lot of it is those kids and stuff. Like a lot of it is Zachary Levi running around the suit. But as far as special effects are concerned, it's not over the top with special effects. Shazam 1.
But it had a ton of special effects though.
But it's not like at the same level as like Thor.
It might be. It probably is.
I think Ant-Man or not Ant-Man, Aquaman probably cost a hell of a lot more than Shazam.
Yeah. They still
but
can't
Aquaman
water shit.
Yeah, they still can't get the water effect right.
but Aquaman was a character that people, and it's also Jason Momoa. You have Jason Momoa or Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi was not a household name, and still I don't know if he could be considered a household name. But trying to figure out what.
All I know
he's not. I know people who like the Shazam movie and still don't know. If you ask him who
super old
Shazam,
in that
like,
picture
that
from Shazam 2.
What's that?
He looks super old in this picture.
Is this from Zachary Levi?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like he's pushing like 50 in this picture.
And he's pushing like a fart out or something.
Yeah.
You know, we
Aquaman.
debated this, I think, last week or the week before, Lance. Black Adam. Black Adam does nowhere near Marvel numbers or top tier DCU numbers.
You don't think so?
I don't think it will.
I don't know, man.
I'm the same.
I say my prediction domestically, it tops out at like 220 million at best.
I'll be 100% honest right now. The more I see trailers and the more I see stuff for Black Adam, I don't want to see it because of The Rock. Because I don't buy being a comic book fan,
Matt.
But being a comic book fan, I don't buy The Rock as Black Adam. I don't buy it. It just there's just something about it. Like he looks with that scene where he's flying between the jets and the jets come up on him. He looks like he's gonna take a shit. He's all like scrunched up flying. Like it looks terrible.
Yeah,
like, the more I see
I agree.
The Rock as Black Adam, I don't want to see the movie because of him. And
this movie's going to make or break him as a legit action star for the ages.
I'm a huge Rock mark too. Like
I think that's already happened, dude.
What?
I mean, he's the top paid actor in Hollywood right now.
Well, it's easy to be the top paid actor when you're in fucking everything.
Yeah, but his movies.
No, but his dollar amount that he makes per movie is higher than any other actor.
Yeah, Dr. Fate and Hawkman
now
super
that could
good
change drastically.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I mean, even with one flop, I mean, the guy's come out with lots of flops. But dude, Aquaman had a $200 million budget.
That's all he does is flop, and then movies like fucking Jumanji and shit keep him going.
But he doesn't really like Rampage. Yeah, like he was coming out with some duds for a while, but people still went like he made a lot on those movies on video on demand after the theaters. Like the Rampage numbers, video on demand, San Andreas, all those movies.
20 years from now, are we going to be talking about Rampage and San Andreas?
No,
because we'll still be talking about movies like Predator or Rambo
or Jaws, which is coming back in IMAX.
I'm not trying to say that it's anywhere near though. I mean, Rambo was Sylvester Stallone was nominated for Best Actor for that movie. It's not even in the same stratosphere.
Yes, Rambo? No, he
But
wasn't.
not Rambo. I'm thinking Rocky. I'm sorry. I was thinking Rocky.
He wasn't nominated for acting for Rocky either. Pretty sure.
Yeah, he was.
He won
And
the
writing.
Oscar for best writing.
Was it writing? I knew it was Oscar
writing,
nominated
yeah.
for a big deal, like for a
Well,
debut.
it won best picture, best director, best screenplay.
Yeah, and he did all of it, right? Didn't he
But
direct
I'm
that
saying
one too?
those are like the big action stars: Chuck Norris, Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Now that they're old farts,
Oh,
we
I don't
still
even
talk-
think.
we
I don't
still
even think
talk
Chuck
about their
Norris.
movies.
I don't even think Chuck Norris even sniffs The Rock's money.
But
No,
the
he
money,
doesn't.
but the legend of Chuck Norris.
Yeah, but I
Doesn't even
can't tell
come
you a single
close
movie
to The Rock.
with Chuck Norris except Walker, Texas Ranger, which is a television show.
Really?
Delta Force.
Come on,
No,
I
Delta
don't.
Force, Lone Wolf, McQuaid,
Yeah.
the Octagon.
I don't think I've seen
the
any of
missing
those.
in action movies. There was like 4
Missing
of those.
action. Yeah. But
I don't think I've seen any of those.
your Ish is right. You're both kind of right in the instance of Chuck Norris because Chuck Norris doesn't do Rock and money, but the legend of Chuck Norris,
Oh yeah,
The Rock doesn't touch the legend between the memes and the stories and the fact that Chuck Norris became like this huge thing in World of Warcraft, which is like the biggest video game of all time. You know, you go to Crossroads in World of Warcraft and it's just people littering the chats with Chuck Norris jokes and
I have a book.
just the
I have a
legend.
book on my bookshelf about with Chuck Norris jokes in it. Yeah, the guy's huge. But same thing with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme doesn't even sniff the money that The Rock has made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Delta Farce too. But all right,
don't
moving to
know.
the next.
We could beat this conversation.
We do every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
We're not going to get any confirmation until Black Adam comes out and we see what it does.
And that's what I think it is. I really think that they are pushing these movies because if Black Adam flops, they're going to go, okay, we're going to get a total reboot. Yes, they're going to make it another Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. They're stupid if they don't because that movie made them so much money. The
but
Joker.
we already know that they're stupid, dude. Like these guys that are running Discovery, the guy that they're hiring. Oh, are we talking about that? They're Kevin
No, I
Feige.
wasn't. No. Because
We
don't know what all the moves they're going to make. So
Lego Batman.
these might be the moves they need to make. Might be premature to call it dumb.
The new DC head, he's in contract talks right now. It's
It's the guy who did Lego Batman.
Lin. Yeah, Dan Lin did Aladdin, the Lego movie, and It. Not Lego Batman, the Lego movie.
I thought he did Lego Batman.
Yeah, Aladdin wasn't that great. The Lego movie was pretty good. The sequel sucked. And It was good, and the sequel sucked. This is the guy they're picking to do this?
Picking to do what?
Run
Kevin
DC.
Feige at DC.
Oh.
And he doesn't even have to answer to anybody except David Zaslav. Like all these other guys, like normally Kevin Feige has to answer to like a few people. But this guy is reporting directly to like he has no overhead except this one CEO that quite frankly has not shown me that he knows what the fuck he's doing. I mean, he's getting roasted online because they removed like 200 episodes of Sesame Street. They're removing all these HBO Max originals. They apparently they're having funeral screenings for Batgirl and they're going to destroy the footage so they can prove to the IRS that they'll never make a penny off of it. Like this guy is gutting this once. Like Warner Brothers has had a lot of missteps, but Warner Brothers was one of the biggest movie studios in the world. And what this guy's doing has not restored any confidence in me that it's going to return to its former glory.
So you don't think this is just a response to a decline in interest in the movies and the criticism of the movies?
No, because Top Gun just made a shit ton of money.
All right, well, Top Gun is not Batgirl.
No, but I think that they could have released it as an HBO Max original. No, they're doing this for IRS purposes.
No,
Sure.
well, Batgirl was already was it $100 million over budget or something like that.
So they could
And
say we show a shitty movie that everyone's going to just shit all over, or we do what we're doing to make back $100 million.
But well, it's part of the merger that it can never see the light of, like they can write it off and recoup some of that, but it can't ever see the light of day. So that's what they're doing. They canned it before because they said they were gonna have to do another $100 million in reshoots So they canned it before doing that. So that way they can recoup something back in the write-off for the merger. And that, yeah, they're going to show a screener of it to the cast only, and then they're going to destroy the film. And
why are they doing that? Because don't you think that would just piss off the cast even more? Say the cast walks out and, wow, we did a really good job. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, it's almost like here, at least you get to see what you did.
Well, and that's what Kevin Smith said, is
if
that
they were never allowed to see it.
It's a spit in the face of the people who wrote and worked on this movie, because they put that art together. They're making that art. The world deserves to see it, good, bad, or indifferent. But the Warner's Discovery is basically giving you the giant middle finger, saying, "Nah, fuck you. I don't care what you did. This is our money. We're getting it back." And that's exactly what they did.
All this is they have to recoup $3 billion. That's what David Zaslav has been told. When Discovery made this purchase, he has to find a way to recoup $3 billion. They removed 200 episodes of Sesame Street. They got rid of a ton of HBO Max originals. There's going to be more to come. Originals that came out years ago. They have no reason to remove, like American Pickle was removed from the service.
All this is for staff members
and now they're hiring a dude that made like one pretty good movie, and then a couple of not very good movies. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Sticks says cast and crew got paid. They don't give a shit. I disagree, because you got to think
pissed.
they make money.
I'm gonna say Sticks is right. Like a lot of that crew, all the lighting men and the engineers, painters, they don't give a shit. They just move on to the next project.
But
those guys don't.
They don't fall in love with the movies they're making. It's not like the writer, director, and stars. They care because it's their names you remember.
Right,
and thousands of people who worked on the movie, they just take their paycheck, move on to the next.
They get royalties though from that too, because.
But he said cast.
Every time they show that movie, toys, reruns when it comes to TV, they get royalty checks for that.
Yeah, and if it's good, it has toys that sell and it gets a rerun on TVs. It's a piece of shit, then they get embarrassed because everyone's like, you were in that crappy movie.
Well, okay, let's use your argument from before against you.
Okay.
Batman versus Superman, the theatrical version was not very good, but it made you said it was a success because it made 700 million. It wasn't very good. They sold a shit ton of toys from that movie though.
Okay.
How's that different than Batgirl?
It's also Batman and Superman.
But this is Batgirl and had Michael Keaton's return.
True. Michael Keaton's return, but Batgirl isn't that popular. Come on.
But Michael Keaton, Michael Keaton could be that draw that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
That's the thing. That's the thing that hangs out there is the Michael Keaton. And it's like, wow. But I mean, we'll see him.
Yeah, as old man Bruce Wayne
in that movie.
As old man Bruce Wayne and fucking Batman Beyond.
They removed him from the Aquaman movie. I'm pretty sure they're removed. Like the Michael Keaton thing's not going to happen. Ben Affleck's return. Ben Affleck reshot all of Michael Keaton's scene for Aquaman,
which gave the rumor that they were trying to restore the Snyderverse.
No, I think it's that they are probably already had Ben Affleck under contract for this stuff for far less than what they would have had to pay Keaton.
But Keaton already filmed the scenes.
Or they're got something different in mind for Keaton, so now they're fixing that. Or they're not gonna continue to go on with this universe, so they're refilming with Affleck, so it essentially killing their grandiose idea for Michael Keaton being like the Watcher of the DC universe.
And he would have been the Watcher of a mostly now all-female DC universe, and I think that's what they're scrapping that storyline. So I think they have to rework Michael Keaton's role now.
I don't know.
Because it's not going to work. He's not going to be bossing around Batfleck or Superman. They ain't going to be bossed around by Michael Keaton. Batgirl, sure. Supergirl, sure.
Well, they already canned the Supergirl movie, and they're canned. The only one they canned Batgirl. They canned the Wonder Twins. The only thing I haven't heard about yet is Blue Beetle. But I've even heard the rumor of canon that, and I've heard that there's rumors of them axing Titans and Doom Patrol as well, two of their biggest shows on HBO Max. they're going
They
to
already
can those.
canned
so.
that Batman Cape Crusader, which was heavily watched. Young Justice is getting canned again. Some of their animated stuff that gets a lot of views on their streaming services.
Well,
They canned all those too.
The good thing about Batman is the Cape Crusader. There's a lot of interest from like Apple TV and Netflix and other locations for that. So that could possibly still come.
They
to
can
fruition,
shop it.
But yeah,
even though it's a DC property.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Dude, that's how they're going to recoup. I'm telling you, that's how they recoup a lot of this is by selling these rights or making deals for these rights where you can use this in X amount of places for X amount of money. Like it's going to be like, I guarantee you it'll probably be like the Sony Marvel deal in the sense where they shop these characters out. Like they retain the rights, but they shop them out where they get a cut of you using them in your movies. So it'll probably be other, outlets or studios using these characters down the line instead of everything being done by Warner Brothers.
I just don't have a lot of faith in the direction that's
so in. Joe, they're plugging Titans and Doom Patrol on HBO Max still because they still got a season to come out. They've still got season 4 Titans and I want to say season 4 or 5 of Doom Patrol to come out. So that's why they're pushing that. But a lot of the talk has been that those shows are not going to, unless they do like gangbuster numbers, and they're like, unless they come out like Peacemaker numbers, and where it's like the most talked about shows when they're out, I don't foresee them making another season. But who knows? Again, we've talked about this to death. Moving on, I'm clicking the button. WandaVision director Matt Shakman might be making a return trip to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A new rumor claims that Shakman will direct the newest cinematic outing for the Fantastic Four, which will start Phase 6 of the MCU. According to the Direct, Shakman has signed on with Marvel Studios to oversee the Fantastic Four entirety into the new franchise, replacing original intended director John Watt. Marvel has yet to confirm Shakman's involvement with the reboot.
Nothing against this dude, but this is not. I'm not excited about this.
Matt Shakman won 2 Emmy Awards for Best Directing.
For what?
WandaVision.
Yeah, WandaVision was great. I loved WandaVision.
And I think there's a rumor that he's going to be doing a Star Trek movie. Or the next.
Maybe he might have an eye for sci-fi. I don't know. But I was really hoping for an established sci-fi director. And WandaVision was more of like that mystical
A lot of people are going wrong. Like, you don't have to do sci-fi to do the Fantastic Four. It's time for that. It's that time in the show for what's ish housing.
You got a hot dog here.
Oh,
you don't like hot dogs?
No, I do. But
I kind of wanted to see something sci-fi when it came to Fantastic Four because if you really think about it, like
it's about a scientist.
Yeah, Marvel hasn't really done that yet. The sci-fi part, right? Like everything's been kind of like aliens and fantasy and stuff. Like I would have liked like a real sci-fi. I don't know.
Yeah,
it just seemed interesting to me. But
Doolin's right. Everyone's always worried about the director when it's the writers that are the most important.
Joe's right, but the director is also the one person who could always rewrite everything.
But
I'm more interested to see the cast because I think they cast John Krasinski, which
what if he was to direct it?
I was down for that. I was hoping he would. Because that dude, I've yet to see anything bad that dude's done.
It's going to be J.J. Abrams or Steven Spielberg at the end of the day.
J.J. Abrams.
Steven Spielberg wouldn't bother me. I really want Bryce Dallas Howard. I think she would be phenomenal.
She does do good with Star Wars, yes. But
that was my number one pick was Bryce Dallas Howard.
Just as Marvel places these directors' balls in a jar.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I think there's so much on the line with Fantastic Four with Marvel that this is like one of those movies where they're going to do everything in their power not to screw it up.
Yeah, because it's been screwed up twice already.
I'll say that Shankman is at least a step up from what the hell's I can't read it. Oh yeah, for John Watts.
John Watt.
Not that
John Watts did
was
No Way
bad,
Home.
but yeah, that movie was made by committee by a bunch of producers, and John Watts was just the yes man to make it happen on set. It's
You
not
think
like,
Far From Home was that way too? Because I liked Far From Home.
I think all three of them were like that.
Really?
He brought whatever he brought to the table, but it wasn't like this huge cinematic particular vision of this artist. He just made everything work what those producers needed him to work.
What else did he do?
He did that 1,000 Days of Summer or something like that. So he went from like small.
Yeah, he did all the Spider-Man movies. He did what else here?
He did a bunch of music videos. He hasn't really done.
Sticks voices Roland Emmerich. That's kind of
he did our RoboCop remake. Oh, no, that's not RoboCop. Cop Car I heard was pretty good.
Yeah, he hasn't done a lot.
No, he hasn't.
I don't know, man. Like,
to me, I just kind of, that's the category I see him in. He was just a studio yes man who made the movie work.
Who did?
Which is saying a lot because that movie was huge with a lot of moving parts.
Who did?
And it's not like you watch Doctor Strange 2 and you're like, that's a Sam Raimi movie. That's
it has his fingerprints all over
on
it.
a movie. Yeah.
Who did? Is it called Chronicle? What?
That's
movie?
Josh Trank, who made Fant Four Stick.
Oh, that's the same dude?
Yeah, and he got fired from one of the Star Wars movies.
I liked Chronicle. I didn't realize it was the same dude that did Fantastic Four.
You know what? Whatever happened to the director of Rogue One? That guy has fallen off the face of the earth. That movie was amazing. Maybe Marvel needs to bring him in.
Yeah, I like that.
I think his name is Gareth Edwards.
That's closer to the sci-fi thing. Star Wars, I don't really consider it too sci-fi, but it's more sci-fi than fucking
Rogue One was more kind of like almost like a war movie.
Yeah.
A fantasy movie.
What is he up to?
I don't think he's done anything since Rogue One. And he's only done previously he did the first Godzilla movie.
Director,
that guy just take his money and run.
And that first Godzilla movie was actually pretty decent. I thought. I liked it. The one with
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Olsen's in it, right? And Craven, what's his name? It's the dude plays Craven.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. They were both in it, right? It's that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's only directed one thing that has yet to come out since Rogue One.
Since what was that? Oh, it hasn't come out.
True Love. It's coming out. It's coming out in 23.
When everyone else is shitting on Star Wars movies, prequels and sequels, and you got the biggest hit, and everyone renownedly says you made the best Star Wars sequel fuck if it's not about a movie that a story you already knew that you didn't need to see until you didn't know you needed to see until you saw the movie.
Yeah,
you take your ball and you go home. That's an Oscar on its own, dude. You set that on the mantle, and you're just like, anyone's like, "What'd you do with your career?" You light up your cigarette and you go, "I made Rogue One, the only Star Wars prequel that doesn't get shit on."
And
Rogue One is like,
damn,
Rogue One's awesome, yeah.
And they give him a standing ovation, and he just pays his check and leaves the room. Like that's what it is right there. Like you don't need to make anything else after that.
I would have liked him to do Fantastic Four. I thought that's a brilliant idea. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that before, ish.
Or he just has such a bad taste in his mouth from working with Disney on that movie. He's like, no, fuck that. I'm out.
And that, like, the writers, I'm looking up the writers right now. That a lot of that wasn't the writers of why Rogue One is so, like, yeah, they came out. But if you look at the past stuff that these writers have written, Michael Clayton, Nightcrawler, Duplicity, like none of them are anywhere near the stratosphere of Rogue One.
You can't fuck that movie up. It's already been written for you. It has been written for you in the lore of Star Wars.
Gilroy?
You can't fuck that movie up. Like that's
Tony Gilroy did that one, and then
he's like a big time Hollywood.
Oh, he's
screenwriter.
done big stuff, but
not
nothing
just
in the
Star
stratosphere
Wars.
of
Yeah,
Rogue
he's done
One.
like serious movies.
I'm just saying, like, writers.
Oh,
be
he's
damned,
doing
you can't
Andor
fuck
too.
up.
Yeah, he wrote The Great Wall. That was shit. He wrote The Bourne Legacy. Shit. That's the one with Jeremy Renner, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That was shit. He did.
Did he write
he did.
Syriana?
He did Ultimatum. That was that in Supremacy. Oh, he did all the Bournes. Devil's Advocate. That was a big movie. But as far as everything else, like
Nightcrawler. I love Nightcrawler.
yeah, that's the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah.
It was good, but it's not Rogue One.
No, but in its own category, it's amazing.
And this other guy, Chris, whatever the fuck his name.
Yes, Sticks has hit it. To be fair, these are all adaptations.
Chris White. But Rogue One's not.
Dude, like I said, Rogue One you can't fuck up because the essential story for it, the beginning, middle, and end of it is given to you in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. You can't fuck that up. So all you have to do is get these characters from point A to point B. That's it, and fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
Like,
but they made it interesting, even
can't-
though we were all sitting there knowing what was going to happen.
yes.
I
but-
mean, you could argue the same thing about the Obi-Wan show. You could argue the same thing about any, like, the prequel trilogy, right?
but you could also
You knew
say the
that it
same
had to
thing that-
end with Darth Vader.
Well, it didn't have to end with Darth Vader. It could have ended. They could have just blown the planet up and that, or died, and that's the end of it. Like, because then they show the
Prequel
whole
trilogy?
Yeah, because they show the whole Darth Vader thing at the beginning of A New Hope, so they didn't even have to bring that up. You didn't.
No,
even
but
have
it had to
see
be the
Vader.
journey. Like your end result was Darth Vader. Like the whole thing is about Darth Vader. So
Yes, I agree. Obi should have never faced Vader again, Sticks. But
like you could argue Obi-Wan, like there was an end game in that, like, and they kind of fucked that one up. Like I liked it, but I didn't love it.
my point is that Rogue One is an easy pass because essentially the entire plot of it is given to you in A New Hope, so you can't really change that much of it. So it's like literally you're just getting these characters from point A to point B.
But Rogue One is the only property that we're talking about that doesn't have any recognizable characters.
Well, because they all die, they're not supposed to.
Yeah, but you have Obi-Wan, who was supposed to be bankable. You have Boba Fett, who's supposed to be bankable. You have
They're still bankable. They're very bankable. It's just
Well, now they feel that Cassian Andor is bankable because he got his own show.
yeah, which I don't. Whatever. I have no interest in that show either.
But you're saying you give it a pass because they was like, oh, you just got to get those characters from A to B.
Yeah,
That
I
sounds
don't
really
agree.
boring. And they didn't make a boring movie. They did.
No, they didn't. You're
They
right.
filled those dots in really well. They did an
Right.
amazing job.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, like,
They could have easily phoned it in.
it would have been very hard for them to fuck up Rogue One.
See, and that's where I disagree, because I feel like every prequel, you could argue they have the template there.
Yeah, see, and Styx is saying the same thing. With Rogue One, you know where it had to end up. You just had to write a decent storyline.
Yeah, and it's a great story. It's my favorite of all the Disney stuff that's come out.
Joe's Doolin says, speaking of elder abuse, Book of Boba Fett was the trash fire.
Yeah, and that's Boba Fett. Like, and they fucked it up. But that's not really a prequel.
Dude, Boba Fett is one of those like anomalies to me because that dude gets so much play for a guy who's like barely even in the Star Wars movie, the original trilogy, and he barely does anything. Like he gets so much play for putting Han Solo in carbonite, like, and getting eaten in a Sarlacc pit. Like it's the like books and the extended universe that made him the badass that everyone has come to like flock over, but
He's
I
also
don't
the
know.
most rare Star Wars toy.
Fawn over.
yeah. But moving on to a topic I know Ish is dying to talk about. Batman Forever star Val Kilmer wants to reprise
Who's
Dark
that
Knight
woman?
for the DC Extended Universe role. In an interview with IGN, Kilmer was asked if he was interested in making a Bruce Wayne / Batman DCU cameo. Kilmer simply replied, "Yes, please."
Yeah, I'm all for it, but I mean, I don't. Is he?
You
like,
are?
They're gonna have to CGI him. Yeah, why not?
Oh, this is the one you like, right?
No, this is my least favorite.
Oh,
This is Corbin's bread and butter.
Corbin, like they merge into one movie for me.
I'll take it.
Somewhere out there, Corbin is hearing this news and he is running, bumbling, and stumbling downstairs with chicken tenders. While at the sounds of this, he's so excited. So
how CGI'd is he gonna have to be?
he can't talk.
Yeah, I mean, he was in Top Gun, and they had to do the writing on the screen, didn't they use AI to do his voice?
I believe so. I think
he had
it was
like the
completely
Stephen Hawking effect.
I think Andy Serkis was actually playing Val Kilmer in Top Gun 2. And they just mocapped
Nothing
him.
against the guy. Like, he's the stuff that he went through, the throat cancer and stuff, like, but how would this even work?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's cool to want, but even my 7-month-old wants, but it doesn't mean you're going to get.
Yeah, Sticks Boy's right. And Top Gun 2 was filmed like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he still isn't doing great. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he could pull off being in the bat suit again. I don't know.
It would be weird. They'd have to come up with something real creative.
Can we just let the Schumacher the Schumacher Batman movies die, please?
Because if we're doing this, then we got to bring back Clooney.
No, you don't.
Yes, and
you
then
don't
we're
need to bring
back
Clooney.
Arnold.
No.
I'm gonna put you in timeout.
You're not gonna de-thaw the Ice Age.
De-thaw Arnold.
No. Nope.
That means Batman will be cool again.
Go to the next slide so I don't have to hear this shit anymore.
Netflix announced today that Umbrella Academy has been renewed for its 4th and final season. The final season has been largely written. Steve Blackman, who developed the comic-based adaptation for the streaming service, will remain on executive producer and showrunner. He stated, "I'm so excited for the incredibly loyal fans of the Umbrella Academy. We'll be able to experience fitting end for the Hargrave siblings' journey we began 5 years ago." Blackman said in a statement, before we go out to that conclusion, we've got an amazing story ahead for season 4, one that will have fans on the edge of their seats until the final minutes.
I feel like I feel like it's premature though. I feel like it could have gone on for a couple more seasons.
This is Netflix, dude. 3 to 4 seasons tops.
Unless it's Stranger Things.
Unless it's Stranger Things, but that's an anomaly.
I really like this. This is one of my favorite shows, I think.
And Umbrella Academy is not anywhere near the level of.
It's so well written, dude.
It is
so well written. Like, and to take it, it's so unique in a environment where like a lot of these superhero shows. I mean, all the boys is let's take the Justice League and make it R-rated. That's really all the boys is. Like, it's not, there's not really smart writing that comes with the boys. It's just fun to watch, right? I don't sit there and think about wonder where the storyline's going. Like, it's pretty much there, you know? And you could say that with every comic property. Sandman is I would put in the same boat, right? With Umbrella Academy. Sandman's very unique. The Umbrella Academy is it's smart writing. It's good character development. They get me to care about characters that, I don't know. It's just a bummer that it's ending, but I'm glad that it's actually getting an end.
But and it's better that it's going to end on its own terms versus continuing on and just getting canceled. So you're left in the middle of a cliffhanger. Or
how many books did Umbrella Academy have? I want to say it was 5 or 6, wasn't it?
I think Gerard Way is still working on a new one too.
Is he?
I think so.
We sell 0 Umbrella Academy. When season 1 came out, there was a little uptick. People were ordering the trade paperbacks. It's probably been like a year and a half since anyone's even come in and asked for Umbrella.
So there's Apocalypse Suite, which is the I believe is the first volume. Yeah, it's volume 1, Apocalypse Suite. Then there's volume 2, Dallas, which is what season 2 was based off of. And then there's volume 3, the Hotel Oblivion, which is what season 3 was based off of. So I think season 4 is probably going to be the new book that he is coming out with. So
Sparrow Academy is volume 4.
there you go. Well, I think they included
That is that is also season 3 of the show. Sparrow Academy.
Hotel Oblivion and Sparrow Academy were mixed. So
I don't see even like what the next one that is coming out is Sparrow Academy. It hasn't even come out yet. The book.
This says while each of the Umbrella Academy's first 3 seasons has roughly corresponded with one of the 3 volumes of Gerard's Way comic-based series, the show has no volume 4 to draw from.
Yeah, it just says volume 4 Sparrow Academy. In July 2020, Gerard Way revealed that volume 4 would be titled The Umbrella Academy Sparrow Academy. While the story has not yet been released in print, it is the main plot line in season 3 of the show.
Well, that and Hotel Oblivion, but yeah, so I'm sure he's probably writing. I know he's heavily involved in the show, so I'm sure he knows what's going on. He's got something in mind for season 4, but
I'm surprised you don't sell any of those. I thought just with his name alone ish, you would sell those. Gerard Way.
Not anymore.
Yeah, because My Chemical Romance, they go on tour and their show sells out in like 20 seconds.
Zaggy says, no need to look. It'll be forgotten. He says, umbrellas will be used to stop rain again. Joe's Doolin said there's a few one-shots as well.
Yeah, I was Mondu, but the past ain't through with you, safe and sound, anywhere but here.
But there you go. All right, let's get into a little bit of video game news. Sticking with Umbrella Academy, the upcoming Horizon Zero Dawn adaptation has a new showrunner coming straight from Netflix hit series The Umbrella Academy. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Steve Blackman, who has worked on The Umbrella Academy, recently signed on to adapt Horizon Zero Dawn into a live-action TV series. The series is rumored to be titled Horizon 2074. Along with Horizon Zero Dawn show, Sony revealed the future adaptations for both God of War and Gran Turismo. District 9 director Neil Blomkamp. Yeah, is set to direct Gran Turismo, scheduled to release in August of 2023.
I was going to mention him earlier, Neil Blomkamp, another guy who made like 3 sci-fi movies and then just fell off the map. District
9 is great. Chappie. Didn't he do
Chappie? And I liked Elysium too.
Oh, I didn't care for Elysium. That's the
and I was
Damon
like,
one,
he was going to direct a Star Trek movie until he said he would not direct a J.J. Abrams script, so they got rid of him. And I'm like, this is the guy who should be making science fiction projects.
But
yeah,
Horizon
Chappie
Zero Dawn
was a shock how good that movie was.
You didn't like
Horizon
Elysium?
Zero Dawn coming to Netflix.
That was a
at
cool
an undetermined release
movie.
date.
Yeah, so now
Elysium
he's
is
doing a
basically
Gran Turismo adaptation. Man, maybe he should do Fantastic Four.
Elysium is
Lance?
basically Matt Damon's. It's kind of like Alpha. What do they call it? What's the Will Smith movie that he did with his son? After Earth.
After Earth.
It's kind of like their soapbox for cleaning the world, like global warming and stuff. It's essentially what those movies are.
No, Elysium was more about like the subtext was about like class stuff.
Class structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it was about like cleaning the earth, but it's.
But all that aside, I thought it was a very cool movie. But I do agree, it was definitely weighed down with political propaganda that always ruins a movie.
And
See,
then
District 9 had that kind of stuff too, though.
Yeah,
but District 9. District 9. I think it's the actor's name? That actor was awesome. He has a really interesting name. He's in that new movie with Idris Elba, Beast or something like that.
Yeah, he was in Elysium also. He was in all three of those movies.
Yeah.
He always works with that director.
But Chappie might be my favorite, dude. I love
Chappie's
that
a
fucking
piece
movie.
of trash, dude.
I love that
sucks.
movie, dude. I love that movie. It reminds me of like Short Circuit a little bit, but
Yeah.
like a little bit more adult. I love that
No
movie.
thanks. As Ish alluded to earlier in the show, this week we celebrate the multiplayer game that launched the first-person shooter genre into the stratosphere. GoldenEye turns 25 years old this week.
Have you guys ever
Slappers
noticed?
only.
Have you guys
Slappers
ever
only.
seen the meme of this cover
Gold
that is-
guns?
with his hand? His mouth is like really wide.
Yes.
Have you guys
Yeah.
ever seen that? Yeah.
But yeah, slappers only. Golden gun on facility.
This is a movie that I'm surprised never got like a remaster. I'm surprised that never happened. Like they kind of did it with
A
Perfect Dark.
remaster?
Yeah.
You mean
Oh,
game?
the game or the movie? You said
A
defense.
game. Sorry, game. This is a game I'm shocked never got like a proper
It
remaster.
did. Well,
It actually
they
did get a
replaced-
re-release.
yeah, they replaced Pierce Brosnan with Daniel Craig
When
And
was
it-
this?
a few years ago, and it was dog shit.
Was it?
Yes.
Was it the same game?
They did make tweaks to it, but I believe it was GoldenEye with Daniel Craig instead of Pierce Brosnan.
And it had like Odd. What was his name? Odd.
Odd Job.
Yeah. I know that they took basically GoldenEye and made the first Perfect Dark game, all the same levels and everything.
The best thing about Brosnan Bond was this game. Absolutely. Dude, this was that game that you could use to settle arguments. This was like in that Mario Kart like
Yeah.
level of you had a disagreement, you took it to GoldenEye, or like I just remember playing this game with my buddies and his dad for just hours, man, and all the cheat codes you could put in, and just putting proximity mines in the stalls at the bathroom and the facility, and this game is just nostalgia to its core for me.
I was
It's
12
the
when this
third-
game came out.
The third highest selling Nintendo game of all time.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
It was crazy. I was 12 when this game came out, and I remember we would have like N64 nights. We'd all be huddled around this old CRT TV. We'd play this, Mario Kart, and Mario Party. Those were the staples that we would all have these tournaments against each other, playing GoldenEye, Mario Kart, and Mario Party.
Absolutely.
Nothing ever else got played. Mario Party
Absolutely.
was legit. I love those games.
I was
And
never
also
a
with
Mario
this
Party fan,
game-
but
And you two are definite exceptions. But this game launched a whole new generation of James Bond fans. You know,
Yes.
seeing the movies and all that. And I know a lot of people who love the James Bond movies, but they're like, but it started with this game, and this game made them go watch the movies.
Mm-hmm. This game was huge.
yeah,
It really is, like, thinking back, it's like the first mainstream like shooter game. Like they had Counter-Strike and stuff, but this game appealed to audiences out like a large, like kind of how Call of Duty is, right? Call of Duty like appealed to a much larger audience than like even Counter-Strike did. Like this was like really that first game that I think without this game you wouldn't have like Call of Duty and all that stuff that's coming out today.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
it's-
this
like I said,
spawned it.
This game launched the massive multiplayer first-person shooter, like that 4-person. Yeah,
Yeah, and Wolfenstein, while that's an iconic game, nowhere near the stratosphere of GoldenEye.
not at all.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually just watched this movie yesterday, but not my favorite Bond movie.
There's only one that I like with Pierce Brosnan. It's when he's like in the ice, just because it had some cool car
Die
chase
Another
scenes in
Day.
it. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I
like,
like
a big climax is like in this ice castle, this palace made of ice.
Yeah, I remember I haven't seen it in years, but I remember when I watched that one, I was like, oh, I think I saw it in theaters. It had really cool action scenes. Is that his
That's
last
a movie
one?
that kind of Bond purists kind of shit all over. And me being a massive Bond purist, but that movie is like, as an action movie, fucking has everything you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
In an action movie packed into one.
Yeah, it was like over the top action. I enjoyed it.
Oh, it was absolutely, yeah. So if you like the over the top fun Bond, Die Another Day like takes it to another level.
Yeah. Did you guys see that that Tom Holland is the lead front runner to play James Bond?
No, thank
No.
you.
They're still talking Henry Cavill, I heard.
I heard they ruled him out because they're looking for a young guy.
Well, then I saw another headline saying confirmed Bond will be a person of color. So I think they're just we don't know. They keep that shit locked tight.
And
You
Idris
know,
Elba
for them
says
to
so
announce the
there's
new
still a
Bond is
chance.
like a huge moment. So
I just hope that
rumors are
it's not
just
Tom
going to be
Holland.
exactly that, rumors.
I love Tom Holland, but not for that. Tom Holland has way too many franchises he's involved with.
He's too soft. Come on.
Yeah, he just doesn't look like
Fucking
Bond should look like a
killer.
ladies' man, right? Like even Daniel Craig kind of pushed that. Daniel Craig doesn't even seem like a ladies' man to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like this suave, like
Sure.
and that was the appeal of Daniel Craig, was supposed to be more rugged, right? But Tom Holland doesn't fit either of those. Tom Holland looks like Peter Parker, like a
Looks like
puny
a kid.
kid. Yeah, like I don't know. I feel bad shitting on Tom Holland, but just not for this role. I like him, just not for this.
You know who should play James Bond, right? They should go old man James Bond. It should be Michael Caine.
Oh boy.
I think it's gonna be the dude from Bridgerton. Rene Jean, whatever. He was just in the Gray Man movie.
I didn't watch The Gray Man.
I think they need to go young. They need to go somewhere.
It'll be Chris Pratt,
at
let's
least
be
in their
honest.
early
It'll be Chris
20s.
Pratt.
I mean, Daniel
This
Craig
kid
was
is-
37 in the first movie.
Roger Jean Page. He's only
It's gonna be JJ, Frankie JJ.
What about Elliot Page?
And on that note, that's it for this conversation.
Let's transition to the next slide.
Roger Jean Page is only 34, and if they're going for a person of color, and just like he looks like James Bond to me. I don't know. I believe it. Don't you?
Is he French or is he British?
I think he's British. He's in Bridgerton, but
Aaron,
I mean,
you're just gonna be for anybody who's got a fucking English accent. So
I'm pretty sure he's
Like-
British.
I'm sure you're probably all behind Tom Holland being in it too, because it's just the accent.
Don't you think, Ish? Like he fits better than Tom Holland.
I don't know who that is, but I'm just based on that photo. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it works for me. I don't know what.
They just need to let Bond go.
He's a British actor.
Let it
Matt-
die.
Matt,
He's
Let
a
it die.
British actor. But he kind of fits that age, 34. You could make 10 to 15 years of Bond movies with him.
I would want to go even younger than that.
Yeah, then I
That
just
way you can
start.
squeeze gets a lot of mileage out of an actor.
That if you go any younger than that, then it's just James Bond, the child. I just don't.
No, it's not, because James Bond's he was a commander in the military, right? So you do a tour duty, whatever. You're in your late 20s getting recruited into MI6. You're not in your 40s. That's on the tail end of a secret
think
agent's career.
We've created a new crush for your mom.
Bridgerton, dude. Oh boy. And she
Sorry,
saw my
buddy.
Olivia Munn comments earlier, so I guess it's all fair.
But, all right. Well,
yeah, go for it. Sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead. Say your piece. Say your piece. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying,
Thanks.
out of everyone I've seen, if they're not going Henry Cavill or Idris Elba, that guy just fits.
Well, they're definitely not going Idris Elba. He's pushing like 60.
No, he's
Yeah.
not. Is he?
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if he's that old, but I don't think
Well,
it's.
he's at
gonna be
least like
Idris Elba.
50. He even said that boat sailed.
I'm pretty sure Henry
That boat
Cavill
sailed a
and him are
decade ago.
close to the same
Yeah.
age.
They want to.
Idris Elba's 49, and Henry
Dude, if
Cavill,
they're
I'm
gonna-
pretty sure is
If
47.
they're
way
gonna
too
do
old.
Bond though, they're gonna go younger and they're gonna get someone who they can sign multiple pictures.
Yeah, because you got to do a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to get, they got
'Cause-
5 movies out of Craig, and I just felt by the 4th movie was just when his story started getting good.
Well, and
now
then they
it's all
killed
over.
him, didn't they?
He's actually
Yeah.
10 years younger than Idris Elba. He's 39, Henry Cavill. That's shocking.
All right.
Sometimes I forget how old I am.
We're going to move on to a new segment on the show. Trekking with Ishtar.
I love
Yes.
it.
He gets his own
Hey,
segment
dude.
to talk.
Thank you guys. I'm so honored
Star
to have
Trek.
this. This is amazing.
Matt is having way too much fun with this video editing.
I have a total nerd boner now. That was awesome.
All right, Ish, it's your segment. Read the card.
I can't read that, to be honest. I can I seriously, I can never read those, even when I put my glasses on. I count on Matt reading it to me.
Do you want to do it, Matt, or you want me to do it?
No, go ahead.
The late Nichelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura in Star Trek, the original series, will reportedly have her ashes sent into space. According to TMZ, the actor's ashes will be added to the United Launch Alliance's Vulcan Center rocket, which is set to launch for the moon in December 2022. The rocket will also carry the remains of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry, as well as James Doohan, who played Scotty in the original series, and Majel Barrett Roddenberry, who played Nurse Chapel.
It's interesting because I already thought James Doohan, so Scotty, I was under the impression his ashes were already taken into space on a trip quite a while ago.
Or maybe
but either way, this is very cool. And to go with Gene Roddenberry's ashes, I mean, like.
So do you think
really
Shatner's like, shit,
that's how you
hurry
get
up
buried
and die before the end of the year?
Well, Shatner, when Shatner went up in space, he even said, if I die up there, I'm cool with that.
And he only like kind of reached like the upper stratus, like it wasn't really even space, really.
No,
like this is going to like
into space.
Yeah, he technically did, but it was like the lowest part of like.
Well, they didn't like orbit Earth. No.
Yeah, but this is like going far out, right? Like,
and this is befitting, okay, because Star Trek, Starfleet, right? It's like a Navy. In the Navy, you get like the burial at sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of the space equivalent, burial in space. It's poetic, it's beautiful. You know, it's probably every Star Trek nerd's dream.
I'm just saying, I hope this tradition keeps going. I hope Will Shatner, George Takei, even Patrick Stewart, just hope they all get shot into space. That'd be amazing.
You hope it becomes a tradition like they have at Pearl Harbor, where if you were on one of the ships that got sunk at Pearl Harbor and you die, you can have your ashes, request to have your ashes buried with your crew members in the ships.
Don't you think
over the USS Arizona?
I don't think that would ever get old. Like hell, Scylla, send Will Wheaton out there too that's gonna be years down the road. I don't care.
I don't know if Will Wheaton deserves to be shot into space.
Oh, that's the only thing the dude's known for. That and Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Oh, and Stand By Me, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think?
You guys are talking Star Trek. I'm having a coughing fit here.
What do you think, Ish? Is Will Wheaton worthy to be shot into space?
No.
I'm just saying, anybody who was on Star Trek.
Anybody.
Joe Doolin wants to know.
That would never
Does
get
that
old.
include like cameos?
Joe Doolin says, do they have to have passed for us to shoot him into space?
No, but don't you feel like that's a tradition that just would never get old, Ish?
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, and we're going to have a lot coming up. I mean, Patrick Stewart's in his 80s, right? Will Shatner. A lot of these guys are going to be.
But I feel like it loses
William Shatner is almost, I think he's going to be 95 soon.
It loses its appeal and coolness if you just start shooting everyone into space.
Yeah, it just can't be everyone.
The original cast, that's awesome. Go for it. But like when you start getting into like Next Generation and all that, like getting into Patrick Stewart and all that, I don't think.
I think Patrick Stewart's beloved. I think people would freak over that.
He's beloved, but Nichelle Nichols, she's iconic in her own way.
Oh, I
because
agree.
of what she represented, the whole thing with Martin Luther King Jr., all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I forget the astronaut's name, who was the first black astronaut in space. And she says, literally, it's because of that character that she became an astronaut. So, I mean,
Where's Leonard Nimoy at? Is he
He's been
buried?
dead for a long time.
I know he's dead.
see that he would that would never happen to him. He was an Orthodox Jew, and so their like funeral rites are very, very specific.
They can't
So he
chop
would
off
never-
a finger and send it.
Well, I don't know about that. So that's why they made a big deal about
toenail.
William Shatner didn't go to his funeral, and that was one of the reasons because he couldn't.
Wait, they can't have people go to their funerals?
It had very yeah. It's not like an open public funeral.
Even for somebody that's like Leonard Nimoy and Will Shatner will be joined at the hip for eternity.
Absolutely.
You know what I find funny about that old original series? Why do all those guys like hate each other? George Takei, William Shatner, like
They don't. It's just George Takei. That's a whole
George Takei
big
just
story.
hates everybody.
Oh my!
Well, he just hates
But what-
William Shatner, and he was able to turn everyone
Because
against each
Shatner
other.
wouldn't give him a taste. That's what he-
Yeah.
Shat wouldn't give him a taste, so he was a little angry about it.
You know, the George Takei thing is weird. I mean, literally, if you take a stopwatch and you watch Star Trek, he's probably maybe in like 5 minutes of it, actually with
Oh,
dialogue.
really?
But he's in every movie. He's there. He's part of the crew. So I'm not like taking anything away from Sulu, but Sulu is Sulu, right? He's got every
Mhm.
movie. He's got his one little moment, and that's it. But he always wanted to be treated as the big star.
Yeah,
And
but Will
that's-
Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, those were
We're
the
the
stars.
stars, yeah. And then when they made the show, it was like those two came in on one door, and the supporting cast, the bit players as they were called, they would come through another door. That was just the system. And Takei, for some reason, he always thought he should be up on the upper echelon, even though they even took him off the show at some point, and he went and did some horrible movies and like got his way back in on the show.
See, if I run like a tier of like
Oh
pivotal Star Trek like history, like Nichelle Nichols, Leonard Nimoy, Will Shatner, even James Doohan. You know what I mean? But George Takei is not really up high on that list to me.
Well, he is. He was part of the main cast. He was in all the original movies.
Yeah, but if you had to
Him
like
and Chekhov are kind of like probably the bottom tier of the main tier.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's so many people, like I said, Nichelle Nichols and Scotty and Kirk, and I don't know, George Takei just never was that guy that.
Yeah, Scotty got more play than him. The guy who was just sitting there being like, "She can't take much more, Captain. I'm giving her all she's got." Got more play than Sulu.
Yeah,
They had to throw that line.
Romance with Uhura by the end of the movies.
Mhm.
They had to throw that line. That line doesn't Simon Pegg say it in the movie? Is a callback or say something close to it?
Yeah,
He
because he's
does.
playing Scotty.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what I'm
'cause he's
saying
playing
is
Scotty.
that line is iconic. You don't hear anybody in the new Star Trek movies saying, what is he
Oh,
saying?
I'm giving her all she's got. Yeah.
Yeah, what does George Takei say?
Oh my!
Yeah, you don't hear anybody recalling that in these new movies.
Warp speed, Captain. I mean, he was the helmsman. So if you look in the fiction of Star Trek, he's just the fucking helmsman. He's the chauffeur.
Mm-hmm.
So in what movie, I guess, other than Driving Miss Daisy, does the chauffeur get the top billing, right?
The Green Book.
All right, another great example.
Driving
All right.
Miss
All right,
Daisy.
forget my chauffeur example. then.
No, you're absolutely right. I was just looking for Green Book's a great movie, actually.
Driving Miss Daisy.
No, but very fitting. And to go out with Gene Roddenberry is just that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it sounds right. It sounds
Yeah.
as it should be.
Absolutely.
Wasn't
and
she-
it's awesome.
Beautiful.
Wasn't she the first black actress to like have like top billing for a television show?
To have her name in the main credits, and also just really to have like a position of authority on a
Mhm.
show about a team or an organization. She was a commander.
Yeah. Uhura
Lieutenant
is
Commander.
she's
They get so number 2.
in Strange New Worlds. I love the actress that's playing her. I love that character. Just
Yeah.
kind of what I feel like it's holding true to what I know.
She has like a nice arc from kind of in the
Mhm.
beginning going like, I don't even know if I want to be here.
Yeah, she's like a cadet, right?
To like placed in positions where like, if you don't solve this, people
She's
are going to
respected.
die, you know?
And if
Yeah, I
you're
like her
playing
character a lot.
the Lance Loves drinking game at home, you were probably thoroughly drunk and about to black out. So,
What's next?
next,
We got more Star Trek.
It's going to educate us on
Ah,
some Lower Decks.
Lower Decks season 3 premiered last night. I haven't watched the episode because we actually kind of save it we like watching it on Saturday mornings, kind of our Saturday morning cartoon with me and your mom. And I want to point out season 2, which was last year, still currently sits at 100% of Rotten Tomatoes. Not one single bad review. And I guess these stats we're showing here is they're saying that Lower Decks is like 13 times more in demand than, oh my God, this is so small, I can't read it. Than the
13 times
average
more.
TV series. And it's in the top 97 percentile of in-demand animated series. So just kind of attesting to its popularity. You know, people are loving it. I love it. It's one of those shows. It has a very Rick and Morty feel to it.
Mm-hmm. Even the art style.
Yeah, the art style and the humor. And it's a parody of Star Trek and a satire, but it's one of those. There's two kinds of satire. There's one that's made by people who love what they're satirizing.
Respectful.
And they're respectful and they love it. And they know what it is as a fan, what we do laugh at when we watch the show and what makes us laugh about Star Trek. And then there's the other kind of satire, which is, let's say, like Thor, Love, and Thunder, where you clearly hate the main character and you just want to use mean humor to demean them. So this is the other kind. And the one thing about Lower Decks, though, I guess would be the one problem is it's not a show. If you're not into Star Trek, it's not a show you can just jump into.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and this is what I love about it, it requires your knowledge of about 60 years of Star Trek. Because some of the jokes are like absolute deep cuts, like the most random episode of Deep Space Nine or Voyager or Next Generation. They'll pick it from anywhere, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they went there." And it's great stuff for Star Trek fans. It's really it's an homage, but it's a fun series. It's actually about a ship called the USS Cerritos, which is a designated California-class starship, which is considered the least useful and least competent ship in all of Starfleet. So they get all the shit missions. And now on top of that, this is about the crew. Lower Decks means not the main crew, not the captain or the commanders, just the fucking worker bees. And
The
how
red
the worker
shirts,
bees,
right? Don't they call it that? The ones that die first usually?
the red shirts.
Yeah, don't they call the isn't there a term like the red and I noticed in the picture they're all wearing red shirts. Isn't that a Star Trek?
Well, that's from like the original series where like the security guards, if they went on an away mission and they brought 2 security guards wearing red shirts, you know they were going to die.
Yeah.
So that kind of became like a running joke. But it's, you know, since then, a lot of different characters have worn red shirts. So it's not necessarily that applicable.
But I just thought it was funny in the picture. They're all wearing red shirts, and that's kind of like an undercut joke.
That too, I guess you could look at it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it just shows you how low on the totem pole they are, is what I was trying to say.
So it's how low on the totem pole they are on a ship. That's also the lowest on the ship totem pole.
Yeah.
So and a lot of opportunity for
Dennis
humor.
Quaid's kid voices the main guy in the show, right?
And
the kid from The Boys.
Oh my God. Jerry O'Connell is one of the most hilarious characters on the show too.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, the voice work is really good. I love it. You know, the humor is hilarious, and they have a lot of crossover stuff. So a lot of characters from like Next Gen have appeared in the show with the original actor voicing, and then they did announce at Comic-Con that they're actually going to do a crossover with Strange New Worlds, which people lost their ever-loving minds over that. But we don't know how it's good, if it's going to be live action or animated or what.
Oh, Paul Scheer's in this. I love Paul Scheer.
Yes, Paul Scheer is hilarious.
Yeah.
But just to go back on what Ish was talking about earlier, though, Star Trek Lower Decks ranks at a 97.4th percentile in the animated genre. This means Star Trek Lower Decks has higher demand than 97.4% of all animated titles in the United States. It is 13.1 x different from the market average. Parrot Analytics has found that the audience demand for Star Trek Lower Decks is 13.1 times the demand of the average TV series in the United States in the last 30 days. So that's 2.7% of all shows in the market have this level of demand.
Where do you find this information?
I don't know. I was just looking stuff up on Google, like
I don't even know what to search for. Demand.
I was just looking at like a Lower Decks viewership numbers and Lower Decks audience ratings and stuff like that.
Lower Decks.
I want to see what.
So there you go. I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything about season 3 yet. But if you like your Star Trek, definitely should be watching.
It's cool that you save it. It's kind of like your Saturday morning cartoon routine.
Yeah, I love that. So I have something to wake up to, and Attila's in his pen messing around, and then me and Christine watch some Lower Decks, and like we literally laugh our asses off.
It's good. Good times, and yet I get yelled at by my wife for watching Beavis and Butthead without her.
Oh. Well, watch it with your wife.
Analytics. I found the site. Parrot Analytics.
I stopped the new episode so she can watch it with me. But all right, it's time to get into a little bit of reviewing of She-Hulk episode
2.
Dos Vidanias. Yes, let's talk She-Hulk episode 2. Attorney at Law. We had some big Easter eggs, some big returns, and some unfinished business was finally finished in this episode. We got answers to questions.
I just want to say I almost started a hot dog fire in our kitchen. That's why I had to get up right now.
Uh-oh. Oh, you blew it up in the microwave?
No, actually, I had it grilling on a pan, on a skillet.
Oh.
And you forgot?
Totally forgot until the smoke started billowing. And now your mom is giving me the dirtiest look.
Because now you got a black dog.
I think it's time for a synopsis.
Yeah.
She-Hulk episode 2. Yeah, so we see the aftermath of the first episode, which basically she gets fired because of she turned into Hulk in the court, right, and fought Titania, and I guess that caused like a mistrial. So her this is why I wasn't sure. So she's a deputy district attorney. She's not just a lawyer. You're deputy district attorney, and you get fired in a bar. I don't know how realistic that was. Anyway, but she got fired. She gets rehired where she's now an attorney for villains, which I think is a pretty fun idea that can go in a lot of different directions.
At the rival law.
Correct. Yeah. Whoever the case that was defending Titania that she fought, they're like, no, we're bringing you aboard, but as She-Hulk, not as Jennifer Walters. That's the stipulation. She has to be hulked out at all times as the lawyer. And then her first client is Emil Blonsky, the Abomination. And
that goes south real quick.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of really where the episode ends. I felt like I was like, wow, it's over. Like we got stuff. We didn't get too much though.
Well, I mean, we got the confirmation. They kind of touched on the events that the events that took place in the Hulk movie are still very much at play here.
That's true.
Even though he's a totally different person now.
Yeah, and he even references it in the show that sometimes he feels like a totally different person, or he was a totally different person back then.
That's a great line, but it didn't have to. Like, it's not
right.
like we thought the other Hulk movie didn't count anymore.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Right.
It's just.
But it was a fun line, yeah.
In a show that is heavily pushing the breaking the fourth wall thing, like I think those jokes kind of land, don't you? Like that's not breaking the fourth wall, but kind of a wink to the audience, right?
I think that this show is fantastic. The first
well,
episode
it almost felt like you said that to the camera. Yeah.
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 Like I like the stuff with her family and her dad, and then like the after credit scene is her doing chores around the house as She-Hulk for her dad, and like I like the
CGI in that scene is awful.
CGI in this entire show is awful.
No, but it's especially bad in that end credit scene when she's walking up the steps. You can tell that there's nothing there. Like I don't even know if the actress did that. Like it's bad.
Like if it was even mocap, they just
if the dude from Perfect Strangers is just walking around like nothing's there.
That's where that dude's
I've been
from.
waiting to say that. Who knows about Perfect Strangers?
I was sitting there like, this dude sounds so familiar. I was like, where the fuck have I seen this guy before? And I couldn't touch it. I could not touch it. And then Perfect Strangers. Fuck.
Yeah. I saw it the first time he was on screen. I was like, it's the dude from Perfect Strangers.
Nobody remembers Perfect Strangers. Nobody's going to make that connection.
Cousin Larry.
The fact that you guys do, props.
Perfect Strangers was a huge TV show.
I know it
had
was,
its time, but it's kind of forgotten. Nobody really references it.
Didn't one of them die, or was that a different show?
Had the cheesiest intro song ever.
Because Laverne and Shirley didn't.
Okay.
Isn't it a spinoff of Laverne and Shirley, or Laverne and Shirley is a spinoff of it? Isn't this a spinoff of something?
You're right. I think it is. Laverne and Shirley is a spinoff of Happy Days.
And then this is a spinoff of
Perfect Strangers, is kind of a spinoff of. I don't know if it's that. Oh man.
No, they're both still alive.
Or is Family Matters a spinoff of Perfect Strangers?
I don't think Family Matters has anything to do with Perfect Strangers.
No. The mother was
Lance is on to something.
Was the elevator operator, and Carl Winslow is in an episode of Perfect Strangers. I'm pretty sure. I know that Family Matters is a spinoff because
it says
the mother was
Family Matters is a Perfect Strangers spinoff show.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Sorry, I know way too much useless
knowledge. That's awesome. I love it.
A shitty ass 80s TV show.
Oh,
Perfect Strangers was not shitty, dude.
TV. Have you tried rewatching that show?
Oh no,
Lance?
No.
Yeah,
but tried. My memories of it, like I enjoyed it.
Just be happy with your memories of it.
It doesn't translate.
Oh man,
or not translate. It doesn't hold.
And I love that show, but no, it's so bad now.
Joe's Doolin says Family Matters is a spinoff of Die Hard.
Of Die Hard, yeah.
Did you guys see there's an Urkel animated movie coming out?
No.
Yeah. An Urkel animated movie.
But back to She-Hulk. I like the way this episode ends with them like confirming its place in the Marvel timeline too, where it's taking planes with Shang-Chi, and you see Abomination fighting Wong in the fucking tournament, and so it's
which wasn't that supposed to be underground and secret, that whole Fight Club thing? How's the fucking news there? Wasn't that the whole thing about that area? Was it no one's supposed to know about it?
Yeah.
The fights?
Yeah.
So how's the news there?
Are you getting the feeling that so she's arguing for why he should be paroled, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a sneaky suspicion that the lawyer arguing for why he should stay in jail is going to be Matt Murdock.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think that's where they're going to collide.
Yeah.
She's going to go on the hunt for Abomination. She's going to try to find him. Daredevil's also going to go hunt for Abomination. That's how they're going to collide.
Well, that depends. Is Matt Murdock now working for the prosecutor's office? And not
it doesn't
lawyer?
Say that. It doesn't.
If he's an independent lawyer, he can't do that.
Maybe he's just goes on the hunt for Abomination. Maybe he's just, I don't know.
Well, obviously he'll figure into it somehow. Yeah. Anybody feel that Emil Blonsky was now kind of giving off Trevor Slattery vibes with his whole namaste? I'm kind of a hippy dippy weirdo now.
I thought the part where he's talking about how he wants to start a new life with the 10 loves of his life through the internet or through the inmate pen pal program was pretty funny.
How much you want to bet those 10 people? It's like the Legion of Villains or whatever they're called.
Wouldn't be bad.
What are your guys's? Because did Abominate? I can't remember. I saw the episode twice, and now I can't remember. Did Abomination break out of prison and leave a trail, or did he break out of prison mysteriously?
You don't even see it. It just says that he mysteriously showed up in the underground fight.
I think
club.
you just see like a crumbled wall or something.
Do you guys think Wong broke him out for some reason?
Probably.
So he's going to factor heavily into something in the future. I'm expecting.
Well, he's in this show too.
I think
Wong?
he's going to have a part in Thunderbolts.
He is going to be in Thunderbolts. So there's take it with a grain of salt, but it came out this week too that the roster for Thunderbolts is going to be Abomination, Taskmaster, Yelena Belova, U.S. Agent, and Ghost.
Well, I like Ghost.
The second Ant-Man
movie.
Yeah,
actually, I just read today that they're recasting.
And Titania.
They're recasting Ghost?
Yeah, the Ghost will not be the girl from the Ant-Man
I
movie.
like her.
And she was also taken off the Red Sonja Netflix show.
I like her. The one I wish they would recast is Taskmaster. That they butchered that character. That Taskmaster's the worst part of Black Widow, I would say.
But are you going to blame the actress that they chose?
I think that whole movie is the worst part of Black Widow.
Well, they made her
the
like
only
mute.
saving grace is Yelena Belova.
Yeah, they made her like mute. It's not the actress. Like, I just wish they would just overhaul that character. It's just Taskmaster is supposed to be like pretty imposing, and I just don't get
a badass dude.
Yeah, I just don't get that vibe from what I saw in Black Widow. Like, it seemed like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of what they did to that character.
My name is Kyle says, I haven't seen the second episode yet, but the first episode sucked ass. You're crazy, dude. It was really good.
It's definitely, I'm trying to think of what else came out this year. Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and this, right? That's it? For Marvel. Hawkeye was November of last year.
But it can't, you can go technical because it spilled into this year.
Yeah. But out of all the Marvel shows that have debuted this year, this one by far is my favorite.
Yeah, so far it's been one of mine too.
And I liked Miss Marvel.
It's okay.
I liked Miss Marvel. It did not like Moon Knight. But this one I like. But here's the thing though, I'm holding my judgment on it because first of all, the first 2 episodes have not been very long. I feel like they end prematurely. And second, like, we haven't really learned much of anything, have we?
No, just already what you knew, just how she gets her powers and that Bruce Banner's her cousin and
Abomination's in it.
And he and Bruce have made their peace and that it officially connects the Edward Norton Hulk movie to the MCU.
Yeah, so I'm holding reservation because nothing big has happened yet. I think that's going to change in the next episode because there's supposedly some big cameo in the
episode
next
4.
Is it number 4?
Episode 4, there's supposed to be a massive cameo.
Oh,
Ben Grimm, baby.
No, I've heard it's a female.
Ben Grimm, baby.
Tatiana Maslany was saying that she worked with this actress, and it's like one of the best scenes in the whole show.
Ben Grimm, baby.
Well, that's not a woman, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Brenda Grimm, baby.
So how about the big
would be on Marvel
Easter
to gender
egg in
bend
the
that
episode?
one, huh? What's the giant Easter egg? Him in the
Are you kidding
ship?
me? Wolverine.
Oh, when she's reading the news articles?
Yeah, that confirms Wolverine is happening. He is part of the Marvel universe. He's out there.
What's the other news article that's in
I
that?
missed the Wolverine one.
So it had an article. The headline was a man with
claws.
What was it?
Gets in a
Yeah,
bar
man
fight.
with metal steel claws gets in a bar fight.
What was the other? There was another headline
Johnny
under
Blaze, the Johnny Blaze thing too.
Yeah, there was a poster, which I'm hoping that gets cleared up, because is he a magician now? Like, I don't understand that poster.
Yeah, stick with it. It
It
says
says-
man with metal claws gets in bar fight.
Bar
I'll have to
fight. So
rewatch it
obviously
tonight
that's
with
Wolverine.
Aaron and see if I catch that.
So we're gonna start saying this is now the first appearance of Wolverine in the MCU.
Cameo. It's a cameo.
This is the first appearance.
That's the second headline. Why is there a giant statue of a man in the
Yes,
ocean?
the Eternals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
the
did
other
see
one.
that where it confirms. Yeah, the Celestial is still in.
Which that's been a big gripe for a while, is how come no one's noticed this giant man sticking out of the ocean? They've not made mention of it, and we've had several properties come out since the Eternals has come out.
That whole thing is kind of that leads to bigger questions. Like he literally like broke through the inner crust core of the earth. Like the devastation should be global.
Yes.
I don't think they're gonna
Whatever.
Sticks. I don't think they're gonna have Wolverine's kid in the show or in the MCU before Wolverine. I don't think that's. I see where
Yeah.
you're fishing with that one, but I don't think that's gonna happen. My name is Kyle. Says shitty, lazy writing, one-sided, brain-dead woke themes that can contribute to the shitty writing. VFX for Hulk was honestly pretty good, but the rendering for She-Hulk was awful, mediocre directing. I don't think that's mediocre directing. I don't think the
No.
writing is shit. Yes, we all understand that the VFX for She-Hulk is garbage. It's been garbage since the first trailer.
Even with the fixes, it's still garbage.
Yeah, Hulk's is good, but I disagree with you that it's got shitty writing. I think it's got good writing. It's only been 2 episodes. It hasn't gone anywhere. All it's really done is establish its footing on what it's supposed to be. I think the humor is good. Like the first episode left me wanting more, and I thought it was funny. So that's all you can do. It's giving you that great fourth wall break in the John Byrne run.
Byrne.
Ish.
Yeah, John
Yeah.
Byrne. And also, as far as you can't really call it woke. The comic was feminist slanted. Also, it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Marvel.
that's kind of the show does have the cliche that men are dumb and mean and blah blah blah. But that comes with the show. That's about this.
I get really annoyed with this Marvel shows or woke thing. Marvel has always been a pioneer when it comes. I mean, X-Men is literally supposed to be like a analogy for like racism and stuff and bigotry. That's what X-Men is. Like Stan Lee came out and said that. Like Marvel has always been this, and now people are upset because it's on.
And
their
that's
TV
why they don't
screen.
like it, that they have to add this additional content where you just said it's already there in the
It's been there
stories,
since
in
day
the
one.
characters. They don't have to do swaps. They don't have to lay it on like they have been laying it on, because those themes
Yeah.
are already there.
I don't feel
So
like
I kind
She-Hulk
of
is
agree with you
awesome
and
too
both
thick.
sides. They need to kind of tone down that stuff, but then that stuff that's always been there will still be there.
Yeah, like X-Men, the whole thing is bigotry. Like that's what X-Men is people without reason hating
Yeah, but
another
if you
group of
read
people
current X-Men, it's
over
it's
the
gone
top.
down. It's gone off a cliff.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it goes over the top. Like
I agree with
It's
what
almost
Joe's doing.
fanfic now. You know what
There's
I mean?
telling a moral through a tale, and then there's talking directly to you like an idiot
Exactly.
child.
I just always
Stanley
use
was
this
always
analogy.
political, but in a very universal way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The statements he made always applied to everyone, and they were always common sense. And they never told you, "Oh, vote for this or vote for that or hate this person." No, it
I
was
just
always
feel like-
just a universal message, and that was the politics. Now they've taken it definitely more than a few steps further.
See,
I wanted.
and
I think we
go ahead.
Go ahead, Lance.
Well, I was just gonna touch on what Ish was just saying. Like, I don't feel like anything has been so over the top where I can't watch it. Like Supergirl was that for me. Like that's kind of my benchmark when it comes to over the top that it's unwatchable. You know what I mean? Like
Thor: Love and Thunder was that.
as far as the wokeness,
just everythingness. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just blind to that
I
stuff.
thought part
maybe
of the demeaning of Thor, of turning Thor into this whiny little crying bitch. I felt that's kind of part of the wokeness too.
But is it really wokeness when we still live in a society where women are looked at like second class
the
citizens?
Deconstruction of our heroes.
Like, I think I'm okay with it because we, like I said, we live in a time where women are still looked at as second class citizens. Like, it's not okay. So I'm okay with them depicting women like this because, in a lot of ways, women are right up, better than men or right up there with men. Like, I'm not going to sit here and preach on a soapbox, but like, fucking A, man, I could never give birth. Or
I guess I disagree. I don't think they're treated as second class citizens.
You don't think so? Like, they don't even have the right to do what they want with their own bodies and shit, man. Like, they really literally treated. They don't get paid as much as men.
To be honest, almost everyone,
you have to fight for that right and shit. It's just, I don't know. I think putting it in the forefront just kind of gets eyes on the situation of today that women are looked at differently. And
like, I agree, man. Like, I'm a father of 3 daughters, right?
But the solution is not to fucking destroy men and turn men into.
Oh, I agree.
No, absolutely
men
not.
are not the enemy.
That's not the solution.
Men in high power, all these politicians and stuff, like, you can look at them as the enemy, but just because I'm a man doesn't mean I'm the enemy. But as a father of 3 daughters, like, I love the fact that
Queen Victoria fucking ruled the world.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I love the fact that there's more female characters coming out that show those leadership qualities and are in positions of power. That wasn't really the case maybe 15 years ago, right? Like, really, you could look at, 15, 20 years ago, and they had like Xena and a couple of other characters, but now it's kind of widespread. Like, we have She-Hulk, we have Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, we have Stranger Things, we have, you know what I mean? There's all these like female centric characters, and I think the future looks brighter for my daughters because now they have these. I mean, think of how we grew up, right? And we had all these characters that were men that we could like look up to, like athletes or fictional characters. When I grew up,
we had like Margaret Thatcher, one of the most powerful women in the world.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it was completely devoid. What I'm just saying is it's more accessible for people like my 11-year-old daughter to see. You know what I mean? My daughter was completely infatuated with Stranger Things.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, are we
but
losing
they don't have to. I don't know. I feel like
I don't think they need to jam it down your throat
and have their men things.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think you need to.
That can't be a threatening thing to women.
Yeah, you don't need to have it like.
Do we need to put
bad women are great
flipping flapjacks? Because Thor was Thor that threatening to women when he was just crazy strong Thor, and now he has to be this whining, crying bitch? No, that's not necessary.
I think a lot of that is Chris Hemsworth is equally to blame as far as the direction of Thor, because he was bored with what Thor was after Dark World. And he's come out and said it. Like, the hairstyle change was his idea. He's come out and said
that's when you let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth is equally to blame as much as Taika Waititi is, and Kevin Feige for that matter too. I mean, they made Thor uninteresting. I completely agree with you, but that's not taken away from the fact that it's good to see female-centric characters.
Sure, the whole Alien
characters in it
movie series in the 1980s. The whole Alien series throughout the 1980s and 1990s.
You gotta remember those were rated R too.
Say that there hasn't been women heroes, the major women character. There have been.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I wasn't saying we're completely. It was completely
Joe's devoid, right?
You said now
strong.
They have someone to look up to. Well, even
strong
then,
female characters
to look up to.
Should not have to rely on emasculating all male characters.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. What I'm saying is that it wasn't
And
as
that's
prevalent
this kind
then
of
as it is now.
wave of feminism that's insisting on that
Yeah, but you
strong female character.
you can agree with me that it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. Like Alien, those were all rated R. Those weren't geared towards children. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Now it's overly prevalent to the point where it's all you're getting.
Yeah, my issue. She-Hulk is a prime example of a show that is showing a female in a position of authority and power. I don't think it's demasculating to like the Hulk. They're not demasculating the Hulk in this. I mean, he's flying off to space in the last episode. You know,
and that's
Mark
what
Ruffalo's
yeah,
done a good enough job emasculating the
and I
Hulk.
guess that's kind of
Yeah.
what my question is like, how are people seeing that this movie or this show is her demasculating men or demasculating Hulk? Because that's not the case. Like, no two people are the same. So just because she gets the Hulk powers from his blood doesn't mean she's going to have the same struggles he has. It's not demasculating him because she's not a bumbling idiot like he was, you know, for a long time and had to fix himself through science, or because he's wearing a apron flipping flapjacks or whatever. That's not, how is that demasculating him?
and it's true to the
For her
comic book.
geek.
She's always been able to control her Hulk persona and be a normal functioning person of society.
Yeah.
The Hulk has always been a dual personality dude. Like, I just don't get that argument. People that are saying that have no familiarity with the actual character, right? She-Hulk, I think, is true. Is even if they changed her origin story, she's still true to what I knew as the character. Like, I don't understand. Where I get upset is like Captain Marvel that goes so over the top that the movie's unwatchable. I mean, they made her so powerful that nothing on this earth or anything anywhere can hurt her. And it makes it unwatchable because there's no threat. Right? Like that's my issue. Captain Marvel exists to demasculate Superman because essentially they're both two of the most powerful characters, one in DC and one in Marvel, but Superman at least has a fucking weakness. The only weakness Captain Marvel has is her own ego. You know what I mean? Like, but at least with She-Hulk, it's like this is a real human being like operating in the world that's true to the comic, and we start to have emotional responses to her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Even Miss Marvel, I thought was good.
And that's kind of what I was saying, that I didn't feel She-Hulk isn't necessarily woke because that's the She-Hulk story. So when you go into She-Hulk, you know it's going to be about a strong woman, right? They haven't swapped anything, or they haven't changed. They're actually sticking to the origins of the character.
If you don't,
that's why it kind of works with
she
She-Hulk.
does.
That's fine. Things like Thor.
I agree with your play. I agree with your opinion on Thor. I agree wholeheartedly. They ruined the character.
If you don't think that what she has to do and what she struggles with in the show, as far as like being told, well, you got to be the Hulk all the time and you got to do this and what she's got to do to get ahead in a man's world, you're crazy, because women in the workplace have to do that every day, and you can talk to any of them and they're going to tell you that. You know, again, I don't like.
Or they get catcalled like she did in the first episode at the bar. You know? Like,
I am Kyle says, I feel like what everyone's trying to say is that diversity is great, but character development is important and needs to be thoroughly expressed.
I disagree with him completely.
And he says She-Hulk, in my opinion, fails in that regard. I don't think he does.
No, you know what failed? You know what failed as far as character development? Moon Knight. Moon Knight was awful. And I'm pretty sure Quantum's going to say he liked Moon Knight. You know what I mean? Because they're two polar opposites of shows. She-Hulk is a well-written show. Moon Knight was absolute trash.
It just, again, I don't want to get into like political start of it, but I just feel like, I feel like you can have a strong female character without making men look like idiots.
Well, in Miss Marvel, I thought Miss Marvel did that okay. I mean, her best friend is a science nerd that helps her make all that. Like, I don't feel like it demasculated
Miss Marvel did a great job. But people were upset with that one because it had the Muslim Arab thing overwritten on it, where they made a couple comments, but all that stuff is true.
Hawkeye did a good job too.
Yeah. They didn't demasculate Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, Hawkeye.
So
Kate
I just
Bishop
don't
was
get
just
it.
Kate Bishop she didn't rely on putting other people down to elevate herself as a superhero.
And even Black Widow, like the whole premise of that story is these women that get, and I didn't like Black Widow as a movie because I just thought it was kind of needless.
Yeah, but even there, then
But-
you get Red Guardian. He's fucking dumb and fat, and they were kind of pushing it with that one. I thought,
But
I think
but
we
Black
need to.
Widow, Black Widow, like the whole point of those women is to be strong and power, and like that's just what the comics always been. That whole the Black Widow groups, it's all girls and stuff. Like it's basically Red Sparrow. You know what I mean? It's the same movie.
yeah.
Listen, I
They're
think
the
we
same
just
premise.
need to get a Ouija board and just have a seance and channel Stan Lee and ask him all these questions and just get the answers. And then
We're
we
gonna have
can
to do
lead in
that
with
on Kyle's and Sam's show.
yeah, and then we can ask him, hey man, why do all the characters' name have to start and end with the same letter? Peter Parker.
Oh, the what are they call alliterations?
Yeah. Tony
Jen
Stark.
Walters.
Peter Parker.
Wade Wilson.
Yeah, Wade
But
Wilson.
Wade Wilson is supposed to make fun of
Wade,
it's purposely making
Slade.
fun of
Deathstroke.
Yeah.
but it's also making fun of being an alliteration. Wade Wilson, because they've mentioned that. I'm pretty sure. Where the fuck did I read that?
Reed Richards, yeah.
They made
Sue
it.
Storm.
A lot of that Stan Lee. Stan Lee named a lot of these characters, right?
Yeah.
Stanley loved a good alliteration.
Yeah, that's just him.
He
But
was
like,
phonetic like that.
Yeah.
Bruce
Thor
Banner.
Thornton.
isn't it Odinson? Just making a silly joke.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not Sue Storm. It's Sue Richards.
It's Sue Storm.
Oh man, Johnny Storm. I mean, it's not always that way, but it is that way often. Ben Grimm.
Yeah, no, it's not. At some point, he stopped doing it, but he did it like a lot. There's a lot of characters that are.
But listen, like we named off a bunch of characters' names. Can we do that mostly with like? Can most people do that with DC? So they do
Bruce
stick.
Banner.
You know what I mean? They stick for like a normal person. Like they hear Bruce Banner, they may remember that. Like alliteration, there's a reason why alliterations are easy to remember.
Clark
So
Kent.
Clark Kent. I mean Kent.
Well, that is an alliteration, but it isn't because it's C and
Orally,
K. But
it's an alliteration.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why alliterations work, why they still use them in marketing and advertising today. And Quantum, I'm not getting salty over your opinion. It's just we've heard that opinion so often. I just want to clarify. Like he's not upsetting me over his Quantum Kyle. That's what we call him. My name is Kyle because we had Kyle, and then we call him Quantum.
I'm like, you guys
I call him Quantum.
Realm.
Yeah.
Dixie Normus, you're on a roll, Joe. Keep going.
But you know what I mean? Like there's a reason why that's. Oh, what was I saying? I'm not salty over his opinion. It's just it's oversaid, that opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to clarify. I still love you, Quantum.
We were going to review Better Call Saul, but I think we're going to push that to another week because we're almost 3 hours into this. And
yeah, I would like to talk about that when Max is on too, because I know he kind of wants to talk Better Call Saul.
But Ish, what came out this week that people should be checking out in the shops?
Let me look it up real quick.
You don't know what came out this week?
Dude,
I don't want to say something stupid.
This dude every week is aware of what comes out. It's all right if it all.
All right. So we'll start.
Okay,
on the Marvel side, Axe Judgment Day #3. Matt, have you been into or following Axe?
No,
Avengers,
I have
X-Men,
not.
Eternals.
Negative.
We got a new Avengers Forever, a new Captain America, a new Carnage. Oh, Damage Control #1 from the writer of the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance
From
to read
Adam
that?
Goldberg?
I have
Yeah.
not read it yet.
And that's
I
even it's
haven't.
even on the cover, so they're really pushing that aspect that this is written by Adam Goldberg. Show notes, yes. New
That's
Defenders
going
Beyond.
to be yeah.
So new Fantastic Four, the second to last issue. So they announced issue 48 is going to be Dan Slott's final. Do you know the spoiler that comes with that?
I do. I've read it already.
Should we say it?
I mean, you can.
So it's the revelation of Reed Richards' sister
Half sister, yeah.
or half sister. Okay.
Who's
He has
his
an
half sister?
He has an African American half sister.
We had the new Marauders. We had a new Miles Morales, a new Shang-Chi, Gwen
Miles
Force,
Morales, first appearance in it as well.
first appearance of
Billy Morales in the new Spider Slayer. She is the new Spider Slayer.
Star Wars Darth Vader, which might be a candidate for one of the top covers of the week.
Yeah, that's a way cool color. I'm
Vader
looking
was
at
a
him right
very cool cover. And there was Dr. Aphra. Oh, of course, the new Amazing Spider-Man and Wolverine patch.
now. What is this one? Just because he has an eye patch? That's why it's called that?
No, that's one of Wolverine's is like, I don't know if you call it an alter ego, but patch. Kind of like the pirate
I've never
Wolverine.
heard that before.
There's like
Yeah,
Logan, Wolverine, Patch.
James Howlett, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
So
heard
Patch is
that before.
One of his personas.
Is this one good? The cover looks awesome.
Meh. There's a couple awesome covers that came out this week. We'll talk about them tomorrow night on Saturday Night Special, the cross between us and Renovision. But I mean, you'll find out what the actual candidate for top covers of the week is. But I liked, the cover. I love this cover for Gwenverse.
The Land Homage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that
loved
art style.
This Stormbreakers, the new recruits cover for Spider-Man 7. I just love the different Spider-Man outfits in that one. But I think the big one this week for me was the Harley
Is that
Quinn
good?
Killing Joke. The Harley
that's
Quinn
not-
title sucks ass, but the cover is dope as fuck.
But that's not. Oh, okay. I thought that was the Riddler thing that you were talking about, like the new.
No.
That's
that came
One
out
Bad
last week.
Day.
That was
Is
really
that good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go check that one out.
Yeah, Matt did a review on that one. Gave it thumbs up.
I did.
Yeah,
I
this
did.
cover's phenomenal.
And then also go out there and get your Batman Detective Comics facsimile.
Yeah, and we had a
27
new
facsimiles.
Detective Comics this week, issue 1063. We had a new Action Comics, issue 1046, Bless Their Hearts. A new Batman White Knight presents Red Hood that got an issue number 2. Yeah, the weekly Harley Quinn. Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes. With these DC titles, some of the numbers are embarrassing. Half of the DC new releases didn't crack the top 200 in sales.
I Am Robin, or Robin, it should be, is one of the better DC titles. And it came out this week. And the interiors in it are so, all over the place. Like, at one point, they're really, really good. And then they get really, really shitty. And then it ends really, really good.
What do you mean
But
interiors? Like the art?
Yeah,
inside.
the art inside, yeah.
Okay.
But remember when you were talking about the book last week that has Robin facing off against Batman? Ish.
Yes.
So
World's Finest.
yeah, I think that's supposed to be Damian Wayne, because this book says that this story continues in Batman versus Robin #1. So I wonder if he's going to be facing off against all the Robins, or if it's going to be Damian Wayne, because I don't read that book. But yeah, I Am Robin #1 just finished all the stuff on the Lazarus Island.
There's also a new Tim Drake solo series coming out.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they're really kind of pushing Robin right now.
But yeah, if you guys want to know more about these books, tune in tomorrow night to Saturday Night Special on this channel or on Renovision. It's our cross promotion Saturday night show where you can see
Good
some
show.
of the OG Absolute Geekers there, like Kyle, and you can find Kyle and Sam from MCM over there. I'm there, Ish is there. We're gonna have all kinds of special guests stopping by. We're gonna review books this week, talk more books. I think we're reviewing Robin this week. We're reviewing Spider-Man and Damage Control. So I'll be able to give you my opinions on Damage Control since I'll read it before tomorrow night. We got a top 5. We're gonna do our top 5 best She-Hulk covers. And we're also talking, I believe we're going to introduce a new segment called Comic Wars, where it's going to be a segment where we introduce a theme, and then we all have to bring a book or come up with a comic book series issue run that encompasses said theme. And then the chat gets to vote on who had the best book for that theme. So
I would
that's
fail that challenge in a heartbeat.
Something we're going to be incorporating. But since you brought up that Riddler book, Lance, we have a cross promotion giveaway going on with Renovision. So if you subscribe to our channel and Renovision and you leave a comment below of your favorite comic book for that week, in 2 weeks, we're going to raffle off a signed copy of Batman One Bad Day, the Riddler #1 variant cover.
Who's that signed by?
That is the premium variant.
Yep, by Mitch
Gerards.
Yes, thank you. Mitch Gerards, the artist, signed it. I picked it up last week at a shop where he was doing a signing. So we're going to do that as a giveaway. So all you got to do to be entered into the giveaway is make sure you are subscribed to both our channel and Renovision's channel, and leave a comment in either place about your favorite comic book that you're reading currently, and it'll put you in it'll enter you in the drawing to win this book that we're going to do in 2 weeks. So
that's awesome.
That is correct. You are correct, Sticks. There's only one night of mayhem, and it is Saturday Night Special. That is correct.
Now, you guys are doing a good job over there. I watched the first 2 episodes. You guys, and Sam and Kyle were on location.
Yes, from his
last
ghost
week.
Hunt. From their ghost hunt.
Are you guys going to unveil my new logo tomorrow night that I made you guys?
Maybe. I don't know.
Did you see it, Ish?
I did not.
You didn't see it? I'll let the guys show it.
Did you share it to the chat?
I might have. I thought
but there's all kinds of shenanigans that go over on Saturday Night Special, so it's a good time. It's a fun time. Kill a couple hours on a Saturday night. Come talk about comic books and geek out. So Ish will be telling you what books he thinks you should pick up next week. Hopefully.
I never even saw that video. I never saw you share it.
Oh, the new book. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
But I've also worked like 65 hours this week. So my boss told me, hey, you're leaving early today. And I still didn't leave early. But whatever.
That's a hard worker.
Well, some weeks are like that. Some weeks aren't.
But so
Good
yeah,
show.
you guys got anything else you want to talk about this week?
Do you guys watch Only Murders in the Building?
No, I don't.
Oh, that dude, the season finale was so fucking good. Show's awesome. Special cameo appearance.
Take a drink, everyone.
I didn't say I loved it. So, watch, I'm never gonna say it again.
But
no spoilers on Only Murders. Is that what Styx is saying?
I think he's no spoilers on the logo.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna let you guys do that. But that's a fucking awesome.
Yes,
show.
Eric, quiet quitting.
Steve Martin and Martin Short are both nominated for Best Actor for that show.
Yes,
It's
see,
very good.
Eric Williams is telling you what you need to do. You need to start doing some quiet quitting.
What's that?
I've heard about this quiet quitting.
What does that mean?
Quiet quitting is when you decide that you're no longer going to go above and beyond. You're going to do the bare minimum of what's expected of you.
I did read about this. Yeah. No, I like my job. It's just
I was
some
like,
weeks.
That was just normal for me.
I'm a salary employee, so some weeks I put in 20 hours of work. Some week I put in 65 hours of work. It just depends on what I got going.
Bare minimum, do quiet quit, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I get paid too good for my job. I'll never find another job like that.
Hey, can I do an LCS grinds my gear moment?
Go for it.
Yeah, new segment.
So never do this at a comic book shop. So
you got to start with, you know what really grinds my gears?
You know
what
really grinds my gears? So someone comes into your shop, your place of business, to sell you comic books. And in the moment it takes for you to maybe walk around or go look at their comics, a customer pounces on those and makes an offer to that guy in your place of business. That's fucked up. And we had that. 2 guys did that to us today. And the 3 of them actually left. I made them leave the store. It's like, you're not going to sell their books to them in our store. We're just going to stand here and watch you do that. That was like the most scumbag thing you can do.
There's been several times like I go to GameStop or any of the Funko places and I see some dude selling something that I want and I still don't do that. Like,
that's so unethical. Let them transact their business and then you can buy it from the shop owner or go out into the parking lot and make that guy an offer. But don't do it in the shop. You're literally taking bread off my table right in front of me.
You're absolutely right. That's fucked up. I think we need a new video, Matt.
Please don't do that. Don't hover. A lot of people do that. They just want to see what do you haven't even bought it yet. You still got to negotiate with the guy, right? And there's already this crowd hovering over, ooh, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
My thing, you go to GameStop. Sometimes. I guess I don't feel as bad when it's a huge corporation like GameStop because they just rip people off. But you guys are just your single shop. Like,
that's our bread and butter, is buying a collection and reselling it to people. I mean, that's...
By the way, Jay's selling you guys some stuff tomorrow. I think. Well, if you guys buy it, but he's bringing some stuff to sell you guys tomorrow.
All right.
So, but
Bill won't buy it. He'll say, "Get the fuck out of my store."
Bill will be like, "What is this trash?"
Yeah. He's like, "Is it graded golden or silver age?" No, get the fuck out.
But that's fucked up, dude. I guess I wouldn't feel as bad doing, like I was saying, to a big corporation like GameStop, but you guys got to eat, dude. Like, that's like comic stores already struggle. You know what I mean? Like, in this day and age, like, it's hard to maintain a comic store, and the ones that last, like you guys and Drawn To and some of the other big ones that have been staples in this community for years, like, it's really commendable. But that's not the way. That's not conducive to your business, you know.
And that's just basic like vending rules. You know what I mean?
Etiquette.
Peer-to-peer transaction. You know, that's like, you know, the government steps in between and ruins shit. You know, don't be that person who does that.
Now, if you were on the street, right? Like, say, I don't know, say you were that guy, like it was out in an open area and I'm sitting there and I'm seeing someone get ripped off, I may interject. If it's just out in the street, I don't like to see anybody get ripped off, but you're a place of business, dude. That's different. Like,
no. And the worst part, the comics, like those are comic, like Bill right out. He's like, I like these. We want these, you know, let me go over, make you up an offer. And then meanwhile, these other 2 vultures, before we knew it, all 3 of them were just headed out the store. And the 2 guys didn't even buy anything from us. And they were there shopping previously.
Like, you guys ever see those? Go ahead.
Hang out at Fantastic Worlds and just start doing that. Hey, what you got in that box?
Yeah.
No, I always read these articles about these guys, like retro video games is a huge thing, right? And these guys, like, they find these like holy grails of like, you know, Earthbound and all these other games that some like grandma, 80-year-old grandma had in like her attic, and they paid like $500, and that's like a $500 game. They took advantage of that person. I would probably interject in that moment. You know, they're going to somebody's house, paying them pennies for something that they're going to turn around and sell. But you guys, I don't know.
Oh,
You guys are
Absolute
being
Geeks
fair.
has easily thrown that box out in the garbage.
Stop the presses. Coming in, we got breaking news. Our chat does it again.
Oh shit!
I love it. I think this
For
deserves a
what
video.
really grinds my gears.
Ish, you're gonna have to come every week with the new grinds my gears,
Shout out
dude.
to Stick Boy for that.
That shouldn't be a problem.
We're all cranky old men, right? We can always find
Yeah.
something that pisses us off.
Well, I mean, running a comic book store, there's always got to be something that pisses you off.
I guess
the
the difference between my analogy of like some dude taking advantage of an 80-year-old woman is you guys are a place of business. You guys are going to offer a fair, like you're never going to take advantage of somebody. Obviously, you need to make your money, but it's not like GameStop that's going to turn around and sell a game for $40 and they buy it from somebody else for $5.
It is though. Maybe not at Ish's shop, but it is at most shops.
It can be. I mean, that's business. That's how you make money.
Yeah.
But you're never
I'd
going
say
to.
Bill has a reputation for being.
Fairness.
He'll pay if he wants something. He'll pay for it.
Yeah, if somebody comes in with an Amazing Spider-Man #1 or something, right, and it's worth, I don't know, a couple $1,000, Bill's not going to offer $50 for it.
Of course.
You know, that's what these guys are doing. A $400 game in a box of games, all boxed, offering $5 for all these games when they're worth thousands of dollars. Like that's taking advantage of somebody. I think there's a special place in hell for people that take advantage of other people.
But there are shops that do that. There are shops that are going to buy your stuff at the very like bare minimum for it and sell it for
those shops shouldn't be
triple that.
The people
I mean, that's the ideal in business. You want to pay the lowest price,
absolutely,
sell at the high.
Gonna make your money.
Ideal,
yes, but you also should be fair. Like you have a reputation to uphold. You want people to continue doing business with you, right?
I mean, it's not gonna be like these assholes that go into Pawn Stars and you're like, and they find out that something's worth like $20,000, and the first thing they says, I want $20,000. Yeah, that's not how that's gonna work because
they got to make their money.
Right. But
no, I completely agree. Selling, like buying something under market value when you're a retail establishment like that, but there's a certain degree, like reputation spreads, right? And if it comes out that you're like GameStop lowballs people,
we have a lot of repeat sellers.
Yeah, like you're gonna lose that patronage if you're taking advantage of people. So there's ethical business,
and we work with other stores too.
Yeah, there's making money, and then there's making money ethically. And
I had several people come in to sell their collections. Each other.
Well, like you guys understand what I'm saying.
I have done it before where I'll be in a comic book shop and I'll see a guy come in trying to sell his collection, and they make him an offer, and he walks out the door, and I'll go out behind him like, "Hey, are you trying to sell your collection?" And he's like, "Yeah, are you looking to buy it?" I said, "No, but you might want to hit up a secondary market seller or someone who sells on eBay or something like that, because they're going to give you a little bit better deal than what the shop's going to give you." And because most shops, I know it's changed in the sense in a while, because now pretty much a lot of shops just buy anything because you never know what's going to hit. You know, they're only looking for certain things, so they don't want to buy your whole collection. They want to cherry pick it. And not saying, you know, none of this has to do with Ish's store, because I've never, in full disclosure, I've never dealt with Ish or Bill in that side of the business. But some shops are like that. Like I can speak from an instance. So I went into a shop that had a Amazing Spider-Man 129 5.0 CGC graded. It runs about the same exact price as a first Edge of Spider-Verse 2 first appearance of Spider-Gwen. And I was trying to get it from him, and I was like, well, he wanted like $1,200 for it. And I was like, well, do you do a trade? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I'll give you this book and some cash. And I mean, literally at the time, their values for a 5.0 versus a 9.8 for Spider-Gwen, their values are equal, like dead equal. And he was like, well, I'll be honest with you. If we're going to do that in cash, I need to get $300 to $500 off of you, including the book, because I like to sell my books for up to 300% more than what I bought it for. So it's however you're gonna do business, man. Like I don't respect or condone what happened to Issue Store, but fuck no, I didn't.
I think it's different though too. Like in Issue Store, like if you're bartering with that guy, right, trying to make a deal, and you both come to the conclusion that no deal's gonna be made, and then somebody comes in, hey, I'll pay what you're asking. Like that's different, right?
They gotta do that outside the shop.
Yeah, they should do it outside. They should do it outside. But then it's not really poaching, right? Like it's not really poaching at that sense, because both of you said we're not going to come to agreement on a deal. Let's just wash our hands and
if we've moved on,
yeah. So I mean, there's not really anything.
I mean, I had a guy come in today with a long box of stuff, and he says he needed money bad.
Yeah.
And he needed money bad. And I went through his stuff, and I even told him I pulled some stuff out. And then I kind of cherry picked, and I said, this is the inventory we would want. It was really low grade. And I'm like, to be honest with you, like I'm looking at maybe offering you $25. And I could tell right away on his face. He was like, no. So I told him who he can go to. Go to Monster Comics, ask for Todd. His inventory needs are different. You know, his enthusiasm for books might be different. And the guy, you know, he didn't walk out pissed off, because I said, well, I can only lowball you on the small stack that works for us.
Yeah.
And I said, and I was like, you might want to just sit on this stuff. These, you know, all these crazy variants that I don't want to spend money on, but you could probably sell on eBay. So just like that, like I've said, we're fair. I always try to work with people, and we always explain to them
ethical. What they
have and why I'm offering you this amount of money, even though it's way less than you think you're going to get. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're trying to
Am I on like a crazy delay?
Yeah.
You keep buffering.
But like if you're trying to move on, if you need money bad or something, then that's fine. But if you're trying to move volume, I don't know if I'd go to
Sticks back with his Turok. He's selling a Turok 1 variant.
Shop is a good place. You know, you want to get everything in one fell swoop, walk out with some cash. Shop is a good place to go. But if you're already looking at books and going, well, this is worth that much on eBay and this is worth that much on eBay, then you need to sell those on eBay if you want to get those prices.
Yeah, if you definitely know what you got, you need to. Yeah. And no, I didn't do it on that, because I mean, at that point, I could get a higher grade book for the same amount of money. I could sell at 9.8 for, you know, what it goes for, $1,200, or, you know, and take that extra $500 and buy a higher grade version of that book. You know, I wasn't going to do that. That was just
sure.
Because we still haven't seen.
If you brought that trade to us, I'd probably turn it down, because but I can sell a 120, sit there and collect dust until that one person walks in who's ready to drop a bunch of money on it.
Yeah. Well,
whereas it's Spidey 129, I mean,
that's a book that
those come and go all day long.
Yeah, 100%. But I wasn't gonna pay over when I know that I can get that, you know, the value for that,
especially higher grade. Especially because you have some knowledge about how to sell these things.
Yeah, I mean, businesses.
Comic book
there's
store.
Two sides. Everyone's got to be able to make some money.
Yeah, I've never done business with franchise. I know people who have, and they've said that they've been compensated fairly. So, but yeah, don't ever do that shit. Don't cherry pick a store when they're trying to make a deal. You know, like if you're, and I'll only really tell that to like people who don't know what they're doing. Like when I was at the shop, this dude didn't really know what he was doing. He's like, I inherited this collection. I just need to move it. And they were lowballing him like crazy. And he walked away from it. And I was like, you might be better off trying to look up a third-party seller. They're selling that on eBay versus doing it through the shop like this. Because you guys got to make your money too, you know? You're going to get more bang for your buck doing it somewhere else, but
I kind of see it as you're as you're being charged a
Eric
convenience
Williams
charge.
pointed out, yeah, don't start a deal with "I need money bad."
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. But like, there's also a convenience charge to it, right? So you could go on eBay, sell it for what it's worth to somebody that'll buy it from you rather than buy it from a comic book store. But the reason you go to the comic book store is to unload a lot at once and not have to worry about shipping and doing all this other shit, posting it and paying eBay seller fees and all. There's a convenience charge for that. So anybody that comes in and says, I have a $20,000 book and I want to sell it to you for $20,000 is an absolute fucking moron.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You know? So I hate when people say, well, I know what I have and I know what it's worth. Well, then fucking sell it for what it's worth on eBay. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I think we've beat this one with a dead horse. So
Stick says, I bought a 129 ASM in the 90s.
Sorry
for
about my
25
shitty internet.
bucks.
no,
Low
you're all
grade,
good, man.
possible 5.4. Dude, low grade is better than no grade, son. That's where I'm at. I have a lot of early ASM stuff that's low grade because low
utilize
grade
it?
is better than low grade.
What is he asking here? Do
No,
you
Sticks
utilize
Boy,
the
there was no
sales-
tax because we're resellers.
Yeah, tax can only be charged once, right? On resale, you can't charge tax again unless they're buying a new book from you, right?
Yeah,
you
when
can't.
we're
You don't
buying,
charge sales
when we're
tax on something
buying
that's
for inventory to resell.
No, it's double dipping by the government, dude.
There's no,
You can't do that. That's why Goodwill, you
the
don't
only
pay any.
tax when we're buying like that. There's no tax.
Yeah, Goodwill doesn't charge a tax unless you buy like an ice cream cone or something like that. It's just how it works.
Eric Williamson asks if LCSs sell on eBay. I imagine most do. We don't. I feel like maybe we're an outlier, but a lot do for sure.
I don't think you guys need to though, because you
We
have
don't
that
want to.
reputation of
Yeah.
You have the
being that
traffic.
well,
We're like
they have that.
We're like a boutique. It's
Yeah,
you come.
you have that
meet
reputation of
me.
being a destination
You
shop.
come
Like,
for me, the comics.
like you make me jealous every day when you're like, oh, we got this book in house, and then you're like, oh, this book sold. Amazing Fantasy 15 just sold, and I'm just like, fuck, man, I wish I had money like that just to walk in that shop and fucking drop it, and because that's a good amount of money going out, coming into the store on that book. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, we call them the whales. There's some whales that come in, and
yeah,
these guys, they got the money, and they want the big books.
yeah.
So of course, we're more than happy to,
Welcome to Snobsdale, right?
Oh, hey, big announcement. Old Man Con. I think it's gonna be 5 now. Old Man Con 5, November 19th.
Should just call that you're
Scottsdale,
priced out
Arizona.
of this con because that's what it usually runs into. Like, oh fuck, I want that book. I'm priced out of that book. But that's one of the biggest things you've taught me, and takeaways that I've always taken away from talking to you, Ish, is that you always say that today's prices
Today's
are tomorrow's
price is
deals.
next week's bargain. Yeah.
You just gotta buy it if you can. But I wasn't gonna do that deal because that 129 is not a hard book to find. It's one of those books that, like you said, is constantly there. It's not a hard book to find. It's just a matter of paying the price for it that you want. So, but all right. Well, I guess that'll do it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for being fire as always. The chat. Thank you, Stick Boys. Thank you, Eric Williams. My name is Kyle. Patrick, your mom, Stumbling Jedi. We still got Stumbling Jedi's 500 subscriber giveaway going on. We got a lot of stuff going on here that we need to sift through and get that out.
We have 500
Zaggy,
subscribers.
I know. We still have to do his giveaway for getting 500 subs.
Oh, gotcha. I misunderstood.
I'm kind of letting him come up with that because he's the one that agreed to do it. So Joe's dueling, Aaron, your mom, everyone in the chat, thank you for being amazing as always. And for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
And I'm Ish.
That's
Ooh.
it.
Goodwill sells
boys.
ice cream.
You didn't know that?
You didn't know Goodwill sells ice cream?
I have no idea.
They have,
kinda
they have
weird.
an ice chest, sodas, and ice
used?
cream.
Is
No,
that someone
it's
else's ice
they have
cream?
like water and ice type thing, like an ice chest with all ice cream bars in it.
Fell off the back of a truck. But yeah, come check us out tomorrow night on Saturday Night Special between us and Renovision. And for this crew, we'll see you guys next week.
All you freaks and geeks.
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks
Spread the cheese.
and drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some
you
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the